We will start the event in a few minutes. Before we start the event, let me remind you of our general house rules.
Reminders to everyone. As you register, change your name into your real name for easy identification. For students, you may follow this format: name of school underscore surname, then first name. For the others, name of the company or organization underscore surname, then first name. Kindly observe the following rules and etiquette. Please keep your microphones muted throughout the entire webinar to avoid disruptions. Kindly open your cameras if possible. Be respectful and attentive to the speaker and host. As for the dress code, please wear smart casual clothes. We encourage you to change your virtual background with the one attached to your confirmation emails. If you have questions for the speakers, you can only type them in a chat box. All the questions will be read by the moderators and will be entertained only during the open forum. QR code and link for the evaluation form will be flashed and posted at the end of the webinar. Inside will be the form that you'll need to fill out for the e-certificate. Certificate will be provided 5 to 7 working days after the end of the webinar. It will be sent through email, so make sure that you will put your personal and frequently used email. Please make sure that you were able to register on this day of the event before proceeding. Failure to do so will forfeit your evaluation and getting off the e-certificate. Lastly, enjoy the webinar.
In addition to the house rules, we are recommending everyone to have screenshots with the speakers as well as your support to their social media accounts, as we are going to require this in our evaluation form later. This will also serve as your attendance for today's event. Thank you and enjoy the webinar.
May I invite everyone to offer a moment of silence for invocation through doxology, followed by the singing of the Philippine National Anthem, led by the PUP Bagong Himig Serenata.
Limang daang taong biyaya, salamat Panginoon sa iyong punla. Misyong kaloob sa ating puso, aming sarili ay aming handog, laging tapat at laging tugon, naririto handa kami, Panginoon. Tangihahayo sa iba't ibang dako, hatid ang iyong salita at paglilingkod. Inang Maria, ang siyang gabay langit luwag, lalaganap alab ng iyong misyon. Limang daang taong biyaya, salamat Panginoon sa iyong punla. Misyong kaloob sa ating puso, aming sarili ay aming handog, laging tapat at laging tugon, naririto handa kami, Panginoon. Mga kaluluhan, lingkod sa mundo, katarungan, kabanalan, kapayapaan. Sa sayan na ito ng iyong iniwala ang mundo,
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Bayang malihiw, kaya sa sinamanan, alam ng puso, sa litin mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyot ka ng magiting, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisigin. Sa dagat at bulok, sa simoy at sa langit mo pagkaw, may nilatang tula at awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isat ng pagkawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdidinig, ang bituin ng araw niya, kailan pa may nagdidinig. Lupa ng araw ng walang pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang ligaya na pag may makakapit, ang mamatay lang dahil sa'yo.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I am Janine Pakiran together with Mr. John Angelo Fragata, and we are hosts for today's event. And we would like to welcome you all to Hospitality Room, redefining the future for hospitality.
Hello everyone, it is so exciting to see all you guys here. We are now finally down to the last day of our event. It is a great pleasure for us to have you guys from day one to this final day of our series. Your participation is one of our motivations to work hard and make this event remarkable and successful. And I hope you are all excited as well, as we're going to have another set of amazing conversations together with the new set of speakers that will be sharing new stories, knowledge, and experiences with us. Right, Janine?
That's right, Angelo. And you know what they say, save the best for last. So we made this day an extra special for all of you guys. We will be introducing our 4 special guest speakers who will fulfill the new knowledge and learning that we all are craving for. Moreover, we also prepared some icebreakers and intermission numbers that you will surely enjoy.
And just to update you, Janine, with the number of our participants, it is really overwhelming to see the number of our attendees rising up, especially for this last day of our webinar. By the way, for the new participants here, we already had our first and second day of our series, and if you want to catch up on the previous webinars, you can visit our Facebook page or YouTube account for the recorded meetings. Again, for the student participants, we are recommending everyone to change your name with our format so we can properly acknowledge and do a shout out to you.
And speaking of that, Angelo, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our respected course facilitator, Ma'am Haydin Aikalabi. Good morning, ma'am. A warm welcome.
Ayan. I would like to acknowledge as well the participants from the other universities, from Iloilo Science and Technology University, to King's College of the Philippines, Dr. Yangas College Incorporation, to Biliran Province State University. I would like to give a wide shout out as well to Miss Racy Blanche Zapatero for being present since the day 1 of our event. And to our participant from Pakistan, Mr. Najib Uriman Kaskeli. Thank you for being with us today. And now to give you guys,
We also have participants from Iloilo Science and Technology University, Gerald K. Takal. Hi, Mr. Gerald. We also have participants from the National Teachers College. Good afternoon from Angelo Noel H. Manuel. Hello, Angelo. We also have from Cavite, James Melvin E. Tamio.
I would like to greet the students from Tagaloan Community College, Misamis Oriental. A happy viewing for Trisha Colleen Punsalan from Holy Angel University, Pampanga.
Good afternoon also to Rafi J. Elibanez from Negros Occidental State University, Siaton Campus.
Grabe, ang bilis mag-flash ng mga messages. Good afternoon as well to the students from Bataan Peninsula State University.
And hello to Elsie Baring from Cebu Normal University Medellin Campus. Ang layo.
We also have here participants from Mati Doctors College, Mati City, Davao Oriental. Ayan.
We would also like to acknowledge our 47 viewers on Facebook Live. Hi, everyone.
And lastly, Janine, I would like to give a shout out to Mr. Alvin Ureta. Thank you for being with us since yesterday.
And we also have our participants from Surigao State College of Technology, Miss Jean P. Escobedo. Hi, Miss Jean.
And muntik na pa nating makalimutan yung mga participants from Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Manila.
Of course.
Ayan guys, we just want to remind everyone na please open your cameras as we proceed to our webinar. Kasi magkakaroon tayo ng mga special rewards mamaya.
Moving on, to give you guys an energizer, we will be having our first icebreaker. So this game is called 4 Peaks, 1 Word. I know many of you are quite familiar with this game. We will be giving 4 pictures as a hint, and our participants will guess the word that is being described by these photos. Again, only people present in Zoom teleconference and registered participants are the only ones who can join the game. Let's begin. Okay, so this is our first 4 picks. That was fast.
I think we have a winner from University of Baguio. Again, Mr. Tad Sungdoan. Lagi ko siyang napapansin every game na napakabilis niyang mag-type.
Okay, Vigan is a city in the Philippines on the west coast of Luzon Island, and it is known for its preserved Spanish colonial and Asian architecture. You know what, Froggy? I've been to Vigan, and I must say that it really is a good place. You can take a lot of pictures, and you can even ride Calesa. So moving on to our next 4 picks.
That was fast for Miss Janina Villarico from PUP. She answered Bohol. Mga keyboard warriors nga talaga ang ating mga participants ngayong third day, Janine.
And you know, guys, what Bohol is a province of the Philippines in a country's Central Visayas region, and is known for coral reefs and unusual geological formations, notably the Chocolate Hills. So we are all familiar with Chocolate Hills.
Yes, you know, Janine, Bohol is a very, very good place and a very one of a kind. Again, congratulations to all the winners. Please wait for our organizers to message you so you can claim your prize. We hope that you enjoyed our first icebreaker. Now, to formally start our event, may we call on Miss Arlene Dolohan, the overall chairman of this event, to give her opening remarks. Let's give her a visual round of applause.
Good day, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome all the participants today for the last day of our webinar series. I hope you will learn something today that you can use in your future careers. I welcome all the eminent speakers who come here to share their knowledge and vast experiences. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to be with us today. I would also like to recognize the effort of Team Prime. This event will not be possible if not because of them. And of course, Labby for her non-ending support and assistance. Thank you so much, everyone. Welcome to the last day of Hospitality Zoom, Redefining the Future of Hospitality. I hope you enjoy our webinar.
Thank you, Miss Arlene, for that short, heartwarming message. We're really glad to have you as our chairman for this event. And I hope our participants are comfortable and excited as we are for all the conversations and discussions we're going to have today.
Ayan,
We would
just
also like we would also like to acknowledge Ms. Clarin from Liceo de Cagayan University. Good afternoon. Hi.
so guys, again, for the student participants, we recommend everyone to change your name with our given format, which is name of your school underscore your surname and then your first name, so we can do a shout out to all of you.
And good afternoon also to David Sonloreta from Lyceum of the Philippines University.
To Miss Andrea Cizao Cadang from Nueva Vizcaya State University, Bayombong Campus. What a very cool name. Visa, XYZA.
Good afternoon also to Kaima Michelle Jean E. from Mati Doctors College, Mati City, Davao Oriental. Hello, good afternoon.
To Jeff Ciolo from Columban College Incorporation. Good afternoon to you as well.
Okay, before we proceed to our first speaker, we would like to apologize as the expected first speaker cannot be with us today due to uncertain circumstances. However, we will proceed by introducing the new first speaker. Moving forward to our event proper, on this third day of our event, Cruise and Airlines Destinations, our guest speakers will be discussing trend-setting solutions to help the logistics and global aviation industry. There is no time more important than right now to come together, share information, and discuss what this means for our future. For our first speaker, she will tackle the subject of travel and transportation planning, eco-destination, as she will discuss how she educates tourists to provide awareness and safe travel. It is my pleasure to introduce our first speaker. She is a community tour guide at Bolinao Association of Tour Guides. She acts as a facilitator and guide for ensuring the safety of the tourist. And formerly, she worked as an airline passenger service at Macro Asia Philippine Airlines. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome Ms. Alyssa de Perio. Let us give her a virtual round of applause. Hello, good afternoon po, Ms.
Morning,
Alyssa.
everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank
Good
you
afternoon.
for inviting me. So today we will tackle about how the airline industry works, and lalo na sa ground kasi maraming hindi pa nakakaalam kung paano nga ba nag-work yung ground service natin, kasi pag sinabing airline, di ba, most of the students or aspirants to be in the airline industry is aware lang sa flight attendant, pilot, immigration. So they don't know who process the boarding, who process the check-in. So sino nga ba behind those people, di ba? So today I will share you kung ano yung naging process ko para makapasok doon, and at the same time, kung ano nga ba yung mga opportunity na meron tayo sa tourism and hospitality management. So welcome to my PowerPoint. So medyo rush kasi ito, so hopefully matakil natin lahat, hopefully, and sana mas marami kayong matutunan. So first slide, please. Next slide, please po. So kung mapapansin nyo dito, we have an image of a globe, and then sa paligid niya mapapansin nyo may ship, may airplane, may truck, so may coffee, may mountain. So ibig sabihin yan, that's how tourism and hospitality is shared. Para siyang malawak masyado, kumbaga hindi na siya sa iisang topic, di ba? So pag sinabi kasi tourism and hospitality, nag-originate yan from one thing, like for example, sa resort. Ano nga ba yung nagiging connection ng resort sa iba pang bagay? Sa resort, syempre may food and beverage, merong transportation. Syempre, paano ka pupunta ng resort? Mag-aeroplano ka ba? Magbabangka ka ba? Maglaland vehicle ka ba? So, napakaraming aspects doon. Then aside from that, ano nga ba yung activities sa resort na yon? So, nandiyan si mountain climbing, merong kayaking, merong swimming, mag-sunbathing ka, or mag-stroll ka around the area. So, ang daming connected. Kaya nga sabi nila, ang tourism industry, napalakalaki ng contribution niya sa atin, sa bansa natin. Kasi nakikinabang lahat, hindi lang yung direct sa tourism, kundi yung iba pang bagay. For example, may resort sa tabi. Siyempre, hindi naman lahat available sa resort, di ba? So, yung mga katabing establishments niya, magko-contribute din. Kumbaga, makikinabang din kasi may bibili at bibili sa kanila dahil nga maraming tao. So, kahit yung mga small proprietor business lang, yung mga maliliit, nagbebenta lang ng merienda, magiging productive sila kasi nga dumadaming turismo sa isang lugar. So, dumadaming mga turista natin. So, ganun yung connection ng tourism industry and hospitality. Everything is connected with one wide range ng mga pwedeng gawin din. So, next slide, please. So, sabi nga dito, as of 2015, 4.99 million Filipinos have been employed in the tourism sector. So, kung isipin mo, 2015 pa yan, what more nung 2016 na, 2017, 2018, and to the rest before mag-pandemic. So, ganun kalaki yung contribution niya. Kaya ganun rin kadami yung bagsak na industry natin after nung pandemic. Pero kung isipin mo, kung yung mga nalugi or yung nawalan ng trabaho before after ng pandemic, so after nun, babalik yan, mas marami tayong opportunity sa mga katulad natin na pag-graduate pa lang. So, huwag kayong mag-alala pag sinasabi sa inyo na bakit ka pa magtuturism, bakit pa gusto mo mag-hospitality management kung alam nung pandemic ngayon. Yung pandemic naman natin, it's not forever. So, maswerte nga kayo, nag-aaral pa kayo ngayon. So, mape-prepare nyo pa yung sarili nyo for the industry in the future pag wala ng pandemic. Next, please. So, ito yung mga kailangan natin when you're working in the industry, lalo na if you're a frontliner or you are handling guests, passengers. So, meron po dapat tayo empathetic. Ibig sabihin, we put ourselves on their shoes. Kumbaga, pag may problema yung tao, di ba mas maintindihan mo lang siya pag na parang feeling mo nangyari yun sa'yo. Kung ikaw ilalagay mo yung sarili mo sa situation niya. So, that's the way para makuha mo rin kung ano yung solution doon sa problem ng customer or ng passenger. Then, meron ding listening. Siyempre, sa communication, may listening. Tapos, local knowledge. Siyempre, kung ano yung product mo, dapat alam mo din. Kunwari, tour guide ka. Paano ka mag-tour guide if you don't know where are you going or what's the details about those places, diba? Then, flexible and patient. Kasama din natin yan. Multitasking dahil hindi lang iisa ang ginagawa natin sa industry. Then, energetic and resourceful. So, dapat may energy talaga, di ba? Lalo na pag humaharap ka nga sa mga tao. Ayaw naman, kasi nyo naman, di ba? Kung ikaw papapipiliin ng isang magtutur sa'yo, for example, gusto mo ba yung mukhang nakasimangot, parang mukhang matamlay, kesa doon sa parang friendly siya, active siya. Siyempre, mas pipiliin mo yung ganun, di ba? Kasi feeling mo, magiging productive yung magiging tour nyo for that day. Then, calm and composed. Siyempre, may professionalism pa rin tayo. Hindi tayo pwedeng maging parang bastos or anything rude regarding sa ating customer or sa passengers. And then, sense of humor. Siyempre, hindi nawawala yan lalo sa ating mga Pilipino. Kaya minsan binabalikan tayo dahil sa pagiging, masayahin natin, ma-joke tayo. Pero in the sense na hindi naman nakaka-hurt ng tao din. So, next please. So, ito, sample lang to sa cruise line. If you're gonna work in a cruise line, hindi naman actually kailangan ng specific course. Pero advantage natin, pag nag-aral nga tayo ng hospitality or tourism, we will have the knowledge within this industry. Hindi na tayo magtatanong sa sarili natin na ano nga ba yung culinary, ano nga ba yung hotel industry, ano ba yung housekeeping. So may idea na tayo kasi sa subjects natin yan nakukuha. So nandun siya from, di ba, from first year to fourth year, we have major subjects. So, kala mo, parang ano lang yun, parang petik siya. Pero pag nare-realize mo siya pag graduate mo, makikita mo na napaka-importante pala niya at advantage siya sa'yo kasi may idea ka na sa gagawin. It's your choice na lang kung anong tatahakin mong experience para makapag-work sa barko. These are the sample jobs kasi sa isang cruise line or sa isang management na nagde-deploy ng mga magbabarko. So, mapapansin nyo napakadami. Sa culinary pa lang, iba't ibang area na sa kitchen ang pinoprovide nila. And then, next please. Sa food and beverage, yung mapapansin nyo, hindi lang waiter po. Pag sinabi kasing waiter, may iba't ibang klase pa po yan. Meron tayong utility, meron pa tayong bartender. Kasi, di ba, uso sa atin kasi pag sinabing waiter, all around kasi. Pero sa isang malaking company or sa restaurant or cruise line, hiwa-hiwalay po ng trabaho yan. Iba yung taga-bus out, iba yung taga-serve, iba yung taga-kuha rin ng order. At iba rin yung nagbibigay ng beverage or nagmimix ng mga alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks. And syempre, iba rin yung naglilinis ng mga gamit sa bar. So, mapapansin yung napakarami. And then, meron rin sa mga activities nila sa barko, yung mga na gumagawa ng activities natin, like rock climbing. Yes, meron mga ganyan, ice skating, meron din po yan. So, hindi po imposible magkaroon yan sa barko kasi in overall, ang cruise ship kasi, it's like a floating hotel mismo. So, kung ano yung nasa hotel na nakikita mo, or resort, or restaurant, ganun din sa barko. Mas pinalaki lang siya at nasa gitna siya ng dagat, nagpo-cruise sa iba't ibang lugar. Next, please. So, ito naman yung sa hotel industry niya, mapapansin nyo, napakarami din ng options. So, yung mga yan, you just need to get an experience related to that after 2 to 3 years so you can apply para sa cruise line. So, maraming nakapagtapos na rin ng HM and tourism na nasa barko. Next po. So, for non-hospitality and tourism sector naman, of course, we can still apply for that. Yun ang maganda sa atin. Hindi lang porket nasa hospitality and tourism ka, you can only apply for airline, you can only apply for hotel. So, mapapansin nyo napakadami. Pwede tayo sa LGU, BPO, financial companies, retail shop, factories and manufacturing. Yung sa real estate, I came from a real estate company before ako nakapag-work sa airline. And masasabi ko, napakalaki ng pwede mo maging income kasi it's not you gonna work every day. Magkailangan mo lang makabenta and that commission you will reach up to minimum ng 70,000 per unit or condominium na may benta mo, 70,000 pesos. So walang limit yun. As long masipag ka, you can market the product nila. Pwede kang kumita up to 30 million or more. So marami dyan talagang yung mayaman. Pero aside from that, dapat rin masipag ka nga mag-market, marunong kang mikayat ng mga customer, ng buyers, kasi malaking pera yan. So you have to get their trust na mapagkakatiwalaan ka at magandang quality ng binebenta mo din. So next, please. So business naman, na pwede mong i-start pag nag-aral ka ng tourism and hospitality. Pwede ka mag-coffee shop, retailing, cafe, tour guiding, which is my job ngayon, tour guide ako, and photography, streaming. So, yung mga yan, pwede nyo magamit, lalo na ngayon pandemic. So, syempre, nag-aaral pa tayo. Pwede nyo simulan, like yung sa vlogging nyo, pwede kayo sa writing, yung mga iba gumagawa ng mga fictional stories online, pwede silang kumita by buying the books or e-books na tinatawag. Kung mapapansin nyo sa Wattpad, if familiar siguro kayo, may iba din, di ba, paid yung pag-review. So, yun yung sample ng minor na pwede kang kumita sa writing kahit online yan. Hindi mo kailangan i-publish yung ginawa mo just to get income. So, kung may tsaga kayo sa writing, pwede nyong pasukin din po yan. Then aside from that, retailing, yung buy and sell online, may mga kumikita na rin dito, magbebenta ka lang. Mapapansin nyo, may mga nag-live stream pa nga, di ba, yung pamain, ganon. So, kumikita rin sila doon. Then, aside from that, teaching, yung sinasabi ko before, pwede ka mag-online teaching or ikaw mismo yung magturo sa mga kakilala mo para makapasok din sa industry. So next, please. So why did you take this course? Pwede ba akong magtanong ng 2 students man lang if bakit nyo kinuha yung course nyo ngayon?
Sure, ma'am.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Sinong gusto mag-presenta? So, presenta na lang para baka kabahan kasi sila pag tinuro ko. Sino gusto
Meron po ba ditong gustong sumagot kay Ma'am Alyssa from our participants? Please use the reaction in our Zoom. Ayan,
Di ba, hindi
from,
mo kailangan sumagot ng pageant.
ano ba yan?
Sino po?
Ito, from PUP, Miss Abug Natasha. Ayan.
Okay. So, why did you take the course?
Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon.
Hi ma'am, I am Natasha Nicole B. Abug from PUP po. Actually ma'am, I took my senior high school po sa PUP with TVLHE, major in home bartending po. So, ang una ko po talagang i-enroll is yung tourism, pero may slots na lang po for home economics. So, within 2 years po ng senior high school ko, na-realize ko po and na-inspire din po ako na yung HM kasi, yung hospitality management, malawak po na industry and then marami nga pong opportunity. So, ngayon po, I am in my second year college and I'm proud to say that I'm still in love with my course and yung fire po within my heart is still burning, ganun, yung dedication and passionate po na i-pursue talaga yung professions na to.
Nice. That's a good answer. Very, very good. Gustuhan ko siya. Kasi, importante nga sa pagkuha ng course natin is yung passion nandun. Kasi once na you don't have passion, you're just targeting a certain job, madali kang mawala sa phase. Kumbaga, kunwari isip mo, ay, hindi pala ako pwede doon, tapos nasa college ka na. You're gonna think na, ay, hindi ko nitutuloy or tatamarin ka na, diba? So, it's important that you have passion in what you're doing, not just the job, but the course itself, lalo na alam mo ngayon na marami nga opportunities. So, hindi ka mawawala ng pag-asa if ever you got rejected in one job. Alam mong may dadating pa sa'yo kasi you are well equipped with what you have learned from your college degree. That's very nice. So,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Natasha. Should I call another one po, Ma'am Alyssa?
Sige, isa na lang.
Okay, so from LPU Laguna, Ma'am Miss Tenorio.
Hello.
Ayan.
Sorry po, I can't open my camera due to poor internet connection.
It's okay.
It's okay lang po.
So, ayan po, I choose my course po ngayon, which is the Tourism Management po in Lyceum of the Philippines University, Laguna. And I'm happy to be here po. And aside from that po, I also learned from my, I'm sorry for my my voice po. I also learned from my previous OJT po na marami pa pong work na pwede po namin pasukan sa tourism industry, hindi lang po ang pagiging flight attendant, kung saan yun lang po yung alam nung mga mas bata po sa amin. Yes po. And thanks to this webinar din po kasi nag-expect po kami na may marami pa po kami matututunan sa inyo na airline industry and tourism industry job related sa industry nating ito para po mas mamulat po kami kung ano po yung pwede namin pasukan aside from sa pagiging flight attendant po. Katulad po yan sa mga travel agencies, ganyan po sa air traffic control, yan po. And alam ko po na makakatulong po yun, hindi lang po sa akin and para rin po sa mga kasamahan ko po. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. That's so nice kasi aware ka din sa mga pwede mo maging job opportunity. At least kahit hindi ka pa tapos mag-aral, you are, kumbaga may list ka na ng pwede mong applyan. Kasi may importante rin na aware ka na as of now sa job, at least makakapag-prepare ka ano nga ba yung kailangan mo. So magandang sample din po yan. So thank you everyone for those who participate sa kanilang shinare na reasons. So next slide tayo. Let's continue. So, ito, talambuhay ko na kung paano ako nakapasok sa kung ano meron ako ngayon. So, like everyone else, I'm also a student. Hindi ako honor student from elementary to college. Hindi ako naghangad. Sabi natin hindi ako naghangad in the sense na kaya ko naman, pero parang binigyan ako ng parents ko ng right or na freedom na hindi mo kailangang maging honor student. Although kaya mo. Kasi nga, they don't want me to be pressured. Pero doon sa mga honor students naman, I don't degrade or anything na negative sa inyo. Basta, baga ako lang kasi yung tipong I just want to enjoy. Kung anong kaya ko or kaya kong gawin right now, gagawin ko. So, ganun ako nun. Hindi ako yung pa-famous or kilala sa school. Sabi nga nila, mga pag sinabing contest, di ba, may mga kaklase pa. Ay, si ano, isasali natin si ganito. So, ganun lang nila akong mga ordinary student din ako katulad nyo. So, next please. So, I started my work sa restaurant noon nung pag-graduate ko din. Before ako nakapag-take na sa airline industry. So, ayan, nandiyan ako sa gilid. So, puyatan lagi yan kasi hanggang madaling araw kami pumapasok. Then, another one on the right side naman, sa real estate. Yung sa real estate ako, hindi kami araw-araw pumapasok. Basta makapagbigay ka ng prospect buyers mo for that week, okay ka na. Then, makabenta ka kahit once a month, okay na yun. Kasi talagang may income ka na after that. So, next please. So, ito po, next po. So, yan yung nag-training na ako sa airline industry. Kung mapapansin nyo, talagang pag first time mo kasi pag nag-work ka sa airline, syempre, nandiyan yung picture ng picture, kung saan picture ng picture. Pero pag tumagal, deadmine mo na lang yung mga aeroplano pag dumating. So, ganyan po. Next po. And then, syempre, kung may before, merong after. So, yan. Nandiyan si Love Bus ng, alam nyo sigurong airline yan, di ko nasasabihin. Kung mapapansin niyo yung may Smart na yan. So, yan yung ka-arrive ng bagong aeroplano nila. So, syempre, picture taking ulit para for remembrance. So, kung isipin mo, ano siya, dinagdaanan po from restaurant, then sa sales. Napunta ako sa sales kahit hindi siya HRM related or tourism. So, napaka-ano niya, parang pinatunayan ko lang na napaka-broad ng ating industry na hindi mo kailangang ma-down kasi kunwari nag-first job ka, napunta ka sa call center. Huwag kang ma-down or ma-disappoint kasi nga, use it as your stepping stone. Ang dami kong kilala na naging successful na galing sa call center or sa BPO. For example, si Miss Jen Barangan, if you know her, ang pagkakaalam ko, galing rin siya sa isang BPO industry. And then, yun yung nakatulong din sa kanya para mahasing communication skills niya kung napapansin niya, napakagaling na magsalita. So, yun yung magiging stepping stone mo. Kaya, isipin mo lahat ng magiging job mo, may reason kung bakit yun nakuha mo din. Kasi makakatulong sa'yo yun sa future. Magagamit mo siya. Ako dati hindi ako madaldal, pero dahil sa mga naging trabaho ko, naging madaldal ako, naging makapal ang mukha ko. So, nakakatulong talaga siya. Next, please. So, yan naman, yung first na nakuha ko ng school ko, saan ako nag-graduate, yung nasa left side, kinuha nila akong speaker. Yung kasama ko dyan, kabatch ko rin, dati kami lang yung ma-attend ng mga seminar. After that, kami na yung nagiging speaker. So, siya nasa cruise line industry, ako nasa airline. So, kaya ginawa kaming speaker, resource speaker ng aming school mismo. And nakakatawa ba, is kasama namin mismo yung dati naming speaker sa seminar, which is siya pa rin yung kinukuha nila aside from us. So, sa kabila naman, syempre, perks ng industry is makapag-work sa airline and syempre makita ng mga celebrities. Kasama na po yan. So, ganun kaganda yung mga experiences and memories na makukuha nyo once you work in the airline industry. So, next po. So, sa airline industry, so papasok na tayo ngayon sa ground services. Medyo dadalian ko na kasi talagang magsing oras natin. Although, gusto ko pa talagang mag-discuss sa inyo na napakarami. Pero mamaya may good news sa inyo para maka-attend kayo ng aking webinar. Meron din ako. So, mama-explain ko sa inyo yun. So, itong Isago Skytrax, mga airline audits yan. Kung sa hotel, meron tayong 5-star, 1-star, 2-star, 3-star. So, meron din sa airline industry. Iba-iba pa yan, hindi lang si Skytrax. Pero ang pinaka-acclaim kasi, na sinasabing parang kilala na nagre-rating ng mga airlines is Skytrax mismo. Si Isago naman, from IATA siya, safety audit naman sila. Then si TSA sa US, pag may mga flight ng US, iba ang mga requirements nila, iba rin yung mga prohibited items. Kung for example, pupunta ka ng Taiwan, iba yung goods na pwede sa kanila, iba rin yung goods na pwede kay USA. So, iba-iba po siya. Next, please. So, sa star ratings, ito yung mga tinatawag nating, sinasabi ko nga kanina sa Skytrax, may 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star. Next po. So, na 1999 siya na-start ni Skytrax mismo. From 1-star, yan yung pinakamababa natin, and the highest is 5-star. Sino makakahula kung ilang star si Emirates? Sino makakahula? Pwedeng may mag-raise ng hand kahit isa. Meron po ba? Makakahula. Ilang stars Emirates? Bawal mag-Google. Baka may mag-Google eh.
And
Anyone
marami
from
pong
the
nagsasabi,
audience
ma'am,
po?
sa chat box na
Sorry,
3
hindi ko na-check.
stars, 4 stars, 5 stars. Or should I
Hindi,
call
check
one
ko
participant, ma'am?
Sige, check ko na lang. Sinong
Sige
nauna?
po.
Sinong naunang tama? Sino nauna? Si JK? Sino to? From PUP ba to? JK? Siya yung nagsabi ng 4 star. Which is tama po. 4 star ang Emirates. Kasing level siya ng Philippine Airlines po, which is ating flag carrier. Siguro may iba na ba alam nila 5 star. Hindi pa po siya 5 star. Ang 5 star po is sila All Nippon Airlines or ANA and Singapore Airlines din po. So next po, please. Medyo ano na to, nag-slide yung mga stars natin yan. Sige pa, move lang po siya. Nakaano kasi siya eh, manual na animation. Yan po. So pag nakita niyo yan, makikita niyo yung mga logo ng Skytrax na yan sa pisngi ng eroplano or even mismo sa mga advertisement nila. Talagang pinapakita nila, ito kami 3 star, 4 star kami. Kasi proud sila eh. Kumbaga na-audit sila ng Skytrax, kilalang tao or kilalang company yung nag-audit sa kanya. Syempre magiging proud sila kasi kilala din ng ibang tao. So next po. So dito na tayo sa passenger service. Ito yung sinasabi ko na aka ground attendant na passenger service agent ang pinaka common term na job title na ginagamit namin or customer service agent. Hindi yung customer service representative yung nasa call center. So ganun po. We are providing check-in counter service for the passengers departing on the customer airlines, providing gate arrival, and then even staffing the transfer counters for customer service counters and airline lounges. So yung mga nag-check-in, yung una yung makikita sa loob ng airport kung saan kayo magkukuha ng boarding pass, kami po yung gumagawa nun. Hindi po flight attendant, hindi piloto, hindi po immigration or anyone else. So kami yung gumagawa nun. Kung mapapansin nyo, kahit saan sa airport makikita nyo kami. Meron sa transfer desk na sa boarding, kami rin yung po yung gumagawa. Nag-a-announce na nawawalang pasahero na hindi ko alam kung naka-headset kasi hindi narinig. So kami rin po yung gumagawa nun. Kahit yung mga endorsement ng mga documents ng flight attendant, amin nila kinukuha. For example, may sasakay na bata walang kasama kasi may mga ganong service, unaccompanied minors, or merong mga person with disability, kami rin yung mag-endorse na ito po yung listahan na may wheelchair, ito po yung listahan na meron po tayong passenger na hindi makalakad, so kailangan niya ng parang may isa kasing klase ng wheelchair na pwede ipasok sa loob ng cabin, which is ginagamit din po at dapat alam din ng mga cabin crew. So in short, kami nag-i-endorse kung ano yung laman ng magiging flight ng cabin crew or ng piloto. Pinapatawag din kami sa loob ng mismong eroplano para kausapin si captain or si first officer kung may kailangan sila or mismo yung cabin crew pag nag-request sila for example ng kulang po yung towel, kulang po yung pillow. Kami ngayon yung magra-radyo sa station na sir, kulang po yung dito, yung pillow po dito sa PR, blah, 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 ganon. So kami mag-i-endorse nun. Hindi sila yung mahawak ng radyo or magsasabi dun sa naglilinis kung ano yung kulang nila. So ganon po siya. Next po. So ito sa mga ginagawa namin din po, assist passengers with check-in, issue boarding passes, deal with inquiries regarding flight arrival and departure, look after the needs of particular passengers. Sabi ko nga mga person with disability, mga bata, mga buntis, or yung mga kailangan lang talaga ng assistance, di ba? Help first-time travelers to immigration and custom. Meron din tayo syempre yung mga first-time na magta-travel. Syempre hindi mo pwedeng pabayaan yan. So sa system, we are encoding something pag ganyan mga passengers, yung mga buntis, PWD, mga first-time travelers, naka-note yan sa system. So mag-spread yan sa lahat ng network sa computer na ginagamit namin. Kahit yung arriving station niya, kunyari pupunta siya ng Japan, pag sinerch nila yung arriving flight, makikita din nila yan, si ganitong passenger kailangan pala ng assistant kasi first timer niya. Si ganitong passenger naka-wheelchair, so magre-ready tayo ng 6 na wheelchair kasi 6 din yung darating. So, ganun po yung coordination nun. Next po. So, aside from that, we are escorting passengers with connecting flights. So, may mga transit, lalo na pag malilate na kasi minsan delayed yung Cebu to Manila, then pupunta siya ng Saudi, sa Dammam. Pupunta siya ng Dammam, Saudi. So, mangyayari, nag-rush tayo. So, minsan talaga hinihila na namin yung passenger. Siyempre, in a good manner naman. Hindi yung parang nangangaladkad ka. Then, nahatid mo siya sa next airport, next terminal. Minsan kasi may ganun. From Terminal 2, isasakay mo siya ng shuttle. Dapat i-rush mo yon. Dapat maiabot mo yon. So, pupunta ka ng Terminal 1. Siyempre, may radyo ka dapat para pwede mong contacting yung station doon na on the way na po yung si passenger ganito sa flight niya. So, malalaman nila, may coordination lahat. Walang may iwang pasahero. So, ganun po nagko-coordinate lahat ng nasa airline sa ground services. So, next po. So, next po. Yan. What skills do you need to become a passenger service agent? So, ano yung mga kailangan natin sa mga gustong mag-apply someday sa ganitong job? Ito yung mga kailangan nyo. Next po. So, first and foremost, syempre, customer service skills. Kasi hindi ka naman robot na parang kukuha na sila ng boarding pass, hindi ka magsasalita, hindi ka magkakaroon ng empathy, hindi ka magkakaroon ng understanding or communication sa passenger mo, di ba? So, kailangan itong customer service. Ito dito nagkakatalo yung iba. Kasi nga, kahit matalino ka, kahit magaling ka, sabihin mo ng confident, very confident ka, minsan overconfident pa. Pero kung hindi ka marunong mag-handle ng customer, if you don't know how to please or you don't know how to solve a problem regarding sa customer mo, nahihirapan ka. Baka ikaw pa yung umiyak kasi na timingan mo yung mga sobrang galit na pasahero, yung mga nagmumura. Yes, very common yan sa airport. Sabi nga namin, ang stress sa airport, kinakain na lang namin ng breakfast to dinner. Yan kasi laging meron. Hindi mo masasabing wala. Pwede mo masabing mamaya or later, pero hindi yan mawawala sa araw-araw. Iba-ibang oras lang dumadating yan. So next is communication skills. Connected actually sila ni communication skills and ni English proficient. Kasi nga, paano mo ma-deliver yung good customer service if you don't know how to show them kung paano nga ba i-deliver to? Paano ka magsasalita, di ba? So, parang hindi mo mai-deliver ng tama yun kung hindi ka marunong magsalita. Lalo na pag English speaking yung passenger mo, hindi ka naman naiintindihan kahit gusto mong sabihin yung tamang sagot mo. So, napaka-importante, connected silang tatlo. Then, patience. Siyempre, dapat matyaga ka. Hindi yung pwedeng sinigawan ka ng passenger, sisigawan mo rin siya. Yung tipong kahit hindi mo alam na, sir, hindi ko alam yan, bakit ka sumisigaw sa akin? Hindi mo pwedeng ganun. Siyempre, magiging ka pa rin, kalmado ka pa din. Then, ability to stay calm under pressure. Siyempre, hindi ko pwede nagpapanik. Kung nagpapanik yung passenger mo, pati ikaw nagpapanik na din. Hindi pwede yun. Walang mangyayari sa trabaho mo pag ganun po. Can work under pressure. Siyempre, kung may mga canceled flight, lalo na if you remember the Xiamen Air incident in Naiya, nag-close yung runway way back 2018 yata ng August, if I'm not mistaken. Ang shift ko is 8 to 5 ng hapon, pero umuwi ako 3 a.m. kinabukasan. So, ganun kahirap kasi nga, lahat ng passenger, as in punong-puno yung terminal namin, sa Terminal 2, wala kang madaan ng iba. Pag lumingon ka, sabi nga na, pag lumingon ka, akin ka. Hindi, sa amin, pag lumingon ka, di ka na makakaalis. Kasi any passenger, ikaw ang tatanungin ka at hindi mo handle ang flight mo. Sasabihin nila, ma'am, saan yung ganito? Ma'am, kasi flight ko, hindi ko rin alam. Yet that's the reality. Kasi ikaw nga, hindi kayo basta-basta mabibigyan ng information kung ano yung lilipat ng flight. Kasi sa airline kasi, pag ground attendant ka, you won't be handling every flight. Kahit sabihin mong isang airline lang, for example, si Japan Airlines. Hindi porket Japan Airlines ka na assign, handle mo lahat ng flights. Meron kaming specific flight na hawak na mayroon kaming details. For example, flight ng Japan ng ganitong oras, flight DL168, mga ganon. So may specific lang. Ang pwede mo lang maibigay ng may assurance is yung mga direction kung saan pupunta, saan yung ganito. Pero dahil nga dun sa flight cancellations nga, hindi pa parang hindi ka pa nabibigyan ng masyadong details, lalo na paiba-iba ng schedule. Yung nagre-rebook ka na ng flight at makikita mo sa system, canceled na rin yung pinagta-transferan mo. So di ba ang hirap? Paano mo ngayon sasabihin sa passenger mo na na-cancel na naman yung flight nila, tapos yung passenger na yon twice na na-cancel na ng flight. Di ba? Sakit nun. Parang ikaw yung natatakot na malaman niya yung reason or yung nangyari kasi canceled na naman yung flight. Siyempre nakakaawa, di ba? Tapos wala pa silang tulog, mga ganun. So, dun mo ma-discover yung empathy na tinatawag kasi maaawa ka sa kanila. Maiisip mo na, paano kaya pag nangyari sa akin to? Paano kaya pag ako yung na-cancel ng flight na 3 times na pagod ka pa, puyat. So, ganun po yung nangyayari. Then another one is problem solving. Siyempre, kailangan marunong kang gumawa ng mag-solve ng mga problems. Hindi lang sa math. Kasi pag sa problem solving, di ba parang math sabi nga nila. Dito, you have to solve basic problems. Kasi tinuturuan naman kayo kung ano yung gagawin. Kunwari, na-cancel ng flight. Ano ba yung options? So, dapat alam mo yon. Pero in a good way, doon papasok si customer service skills. Alam mo na yung gagawin mo. Ngayon, how will you deliver it to the passenger na hindi siya nagagalit, na maiintindihan niya, na mag-a-agree siya sa solution na binigay sa'yo ng company. Then, syempre, IT skills. Hindi ka marunong mag-computer kasi yan ang unang ginagamit namin dyan. Nakaupo ka, nag-check-in ka. Or sa boarding, gumagamit ka ng radyo, gumagamit ka ng computer, no, scanner ng boarding pass. So, hindi po nawawala. Next, please. Next slide po. So, pag nag-apply ka, syempre, you have to look professional. Hindi porket sabi mo, sa ground lang to, okay lang to, fetish lang to, kahit anong suot. Hindi po ganon. Actually, any job dapat, you have to look professional. Kahit sabihin mong waiter lang applyan mo, syempre dapat ipakita natin na we are capable to look professional. Kasi nga, dire mo, tourism or hospitality graduate, hindi mo man lang ma-prove na natuto ka ng proper grooming or etiquette sa pag-a-apply. So, syempre, sa lalaki, you have to wear your long sleeves or naka-blazer ka, since sa babae. And sa mga girls, huwag niyong sasanayin na yung nakikita kasi ng mga nag-a-apply, sobrang iiksi ng skirt. As much as possible, 2 inches below the knee lang po. Or minsan, mas mahaba konti. Medyo nakikita lang yung tuhod. Pero wag sobrang iksi, tas may slit pa. Hindi ka mag-a-apply sa any na parang model or anything. Kundi nag-a-apply ka for a professional job. So, dapat you look professional. Sabi nung iba, may mga aspirants na tanong sa akin, pag nag-apply ka po ba sa ganyan, kailangan marunong ka na mag-makeup? Of course, kasi nga, pinapakita mo, ano nga ba dapat yung reason kung bakit ka nila i-hire. Kung hindi ka pa marunong mag-makeup, mag-a-apply ka, anong mapapala nila sa'yo? Hindi ka naman tuturuan mag-makeup. Although, there is a part of training naman na there's a parang personality development. Pero hindi ka tuturuan ng paano mag-basic na pulbo, hindi ka tuturuan paano basic concealer. Kundi dadagdagan na lang yung information kung ano yung protocol ng company regarding sa makeup, regarding sa uniform. Pero overall, basic makeup, hindi ka tuturuan po. So yan, make sure na malinis din ang mga kuko. Wala kang dangling earrings. Dapat stud earrings lang as much as possible. Yung isang diamond ang shape lang, isang pearl lang. Huwag yung masyadong malalaki. Minsan yung parang kay Catriona Gray. Huwag kayong magaganon yung parang araw. Hindi kayo makikipagent or hindi kayo sasali ng contest kundi mag-a-apply kayo for a professional job. Next po. So, ito na mga facilities natin sa airline. So, marami naman siguro sa inyo nakapasok na ng airport. Pero sa mga hindi pa, so bibigyan ko kayo ng brief information regarding it. So, ito yung check-in counters natin. Sometimes there are specific area lang para sa isang airline, lalo na pag maraming flights. For example, sa Terminal 2, lahat po ng ng flight doon is Philippine Airlines lang. So, sa kanilang lahat ng counters, nagkakaroon lang ng bakante yon pag nagpapalitan ng shift or pag wala nang masyadong flight or wala nang lumilipad mismo na flight mismo. Kumbaga, close time na, wala nang after, for example, 12 midnight, wala nang flight. So, wala nang mag-check-in, sasarado nila. Then, babalik sila ng 3 a.m. or onwards. So, dito, may iba naman, like Terminal 3 and 1. Itong nasa left is Terminal 1 sa NAIA. And Terminal 3 naman yung nasa kabila. Yung mga ganyan po is makikita nyo may mga screen. Napapalitan po yan pagtapos na yung shift. Itong si Terminal 1, napapansin nyo, Gulf Air siya. Nakalagay yung flight number. So, pagtapos na yung flight ni Gulf Air, nakaboard na yung passenger, nakalipad na. So, mawawala na din yan. Pag close tamper pa lang actually, wala na yung sa screen. So, mababakante na yan. Tapos, pag nakalipad na, syempre, wala na rin agent dyan. So, ganun po. Papalitan sila ng next na may flight. So, dyan rin yung upo. So, ganun po siya pag malalaking airport. And aside from that, usually may mga assistant dyan na nagbubuhat ng bagahe pag mabibigat, papatulong syempre mag-repackaging, so hindi po nawawala. Next po. So sa ibang bansa, ganyan naman po siya sobrang haba. So depende rin yan sa layout ng airport kung paano siya ginagawa or paano yung pagkakagawa sa kanya. minsan diretsong ganon, then minsan naman pa-square katulad sa Terminal 3, magkakaharap, di ba? Tapos parang naka-square sila. So, iba-iba siya. Next po. So, ito naman sa Terminal 2, yung sinasabi ko, yung nasa left side, yan po yung sa business class. So, sa airline din, pag nag-check-in po, hindi pare-pareho ng check-in counters. Meron yung mga VIP or business class. For example, Terminal 2 may red carpet. So, madali mo siyang makita o ma-determine na ito yung business class kasi makikita mo naka-specialize yung pila niya. So, sa naman, sa right side, yan naman yung nating self-check-in. So, dyan po, ikaw mag-check-in mag-isa mo. Usually, yung mga walang check-in baggage, magpatap ka lang ng passport. Then, makikita mo sa screen, ito yung flight mo, i-confirm mo lang. Then, lalabas na yung boarding pass mo na papel. So, usually, pumupunta dyan yung mga nagmamadali or walang mga luggage nga. Pero kahit ganun, na-assign pa rin yung ibang ground attendant dyan para mag-assist dun sa mga first-timer or may mga problema. Kasi minsan, may mga technicalities. For example, di lumabas yung boarding pass or may error. So, they have to get assisted. So, ganun po siya. So, dito sa Pilipinas, not sure kung meron na sa Terminal 3. Pero sa ibang bansa, usually yan like Singapore, sa Korea, sa Japan, ganun po. Next, please. So, ito yung sa gates naman natin or sa boarding. So, before kayo sumakay ng eroplano, saan ba kayo umuupo? Diba dun sa may harap ng mismong area kung saan makikita mo usually yung eroplano, diba? So, dito, usually may mga 3 to 4 agents tayo, minsan 2 lang, depende sa laki rin ng flight. Pag ganyan po, usually, before pa mag-boarding, nandiyan na yung mga agent, 30 minutes or 1 hour. 1 hour to 2 hours minsan nandiyan na yung mga agents, lalo na pag malalaking flight like sa USA kasi meron pa yung final x-ray na gagawin doon sa mga passenger. So, ganyan po siya, nag-a-announce tayo ng boarding, nag-a-announce tayo ng nawawalang pasahero o hindi pa sumasakay o yung may mga kailangang ayusin sa ticket. So, doon po ginagawa yan. Saka yung mga endorsements, yung mga cabin crew sa kapiloto, dito po namin binibigay din yung mga papel na kailangan nila. For example, sa business class, 5 yung business class na nakasakay, tapos may mga special meal. So, pinapaalam din namin yan sa lead cabin crew or sa purser para alam nila kung sino yung saservan ng pagkain na yon. Kasi di ba sa eroplano kasi may mga special meals na tinatawag. Meron yung mga vegetarian, meron yung kids meal, meron yung Muslim meal, yung mga ganon. So, may specific meals na requested. So, sila rin nakakaalam po niyan at binibigay namin yan sa mga crew. Next po. So, ito yung sample ng picture pag nasa gates ka na-assign. Sa unang picture mapapansin nyo, I think it's kabubukas pa lang ng pinto. Kasi may mga ibang airline ng protocol nila, yung ground attendant ang nagbubukas ng pinto pagkarating ng eroplano, which is ganun din yung ginagawa namin. Kung yung cabin crew, sila nagsasara pagpaalis, pag arrival po nila, galing po niya rin ng Cebu or ng ibang lugar, kami yung nagbubukas ng pinto. Then, greeting, syempre, may bibigay sa amin ngayon mga papel, which is yung manifest and special handling. So, ganun siya. Pag galing siya sa ibang lugar, kami yung magbibigay doon sa cabin crew. Then, pagpunta nila sa another station or lugar, kami rin, agent din yung kukuha doon sa ground para malaman yung details na ibibigay nila sa amin. So, sa kabila, sa upper right naman, yan yung paalis na yung eroplano, kaya nagbababay na siya. So, na yan, parang closing na ng door nila kung mapapansin nyo. And then, the last one, sa baba po, ako po yan. Nasa yan. Kaya nakasimangot ako dyan kasi ang init po. Kasi nasa remote bay. Kung mapapansin nyo, hindi lahat naman ng aeroplano nasa tube, yung sinasabi ng tube or bridge. Yan po. So, dyan po, mainit siya. Kaya, sobrang lusaw ang makeup dyan kadalasan, tapos mahangin pa. Maswerte ka na lang pag may cabin crew na nag-aabot ng refreshments, may mga ganun po. So, enjoy rin naman kasi, maganda experience, makikita mo yung mga aeroplano, ganyan. So, nakabas yung mga pasahero. Medyo mas lang. Medyo matagal lang kasi nga, nakabas yung mga pasahero papunta sa may baba ng hagdanan ng eroplano. So, ganun po siya. Next po. So, ito yung mga gamit namin sa gates usually, hindi nawawala yan, radyo. Yung nasa left is yung may wire. Kung mapapansin, parang ganun siya gamitin. Sa mga eroplano din, ganun rin. Then yung sa right side naman is yung wireless na tinatawag o yung may antenna. Mapapansin nyo, ginagamit din sa mga hotel resort, ini-connecting mga gwardiya, ganyan, di ba? Yun ang usually ginagamit. And for that, hindi ka basta-basta pwedeng humawak niyan pag nag-work ka sa airline. Hindi porket, alam ko gamitin yan, gagamit ka na. It's not like that. Kasi kasama yan sa training, na yung NTC or the National Telecommunications Commission nga, sila ang nagpapa-provide ng license or ng training mismo para gumamit ka niyan. So illegal gumawak niyan sa work mo pag hindi ka marunong or hindi ka na-train. The right word is hindi ka na-trained or hindi ka licensed. So may license ka makukuha after ng training mo sa paghawak ng radyo. Kahit yung cabin crew, for example, may request siya sa may loob na aeroplano tapos naghihintay ka, ikaw yung gate agent. Hindi niya pwedeng hawakan, hindi niya pwedeng gamitin yung radyo na siya yung kakausap doon. Dapat i-relay niya sa yung message at ikaw magsasabi doon sa kailangang sabihan sa radyo. So, ganun po siya. Next po. So, sa gates din, napaka-importante, alam mo rin yung laman or yung mismong cabin setup ng eroplano. So, mapapansin nyo may dalawa tayong klase ng seating natin dyan. So, yung first is yung Boeing 777-300ER and the A340-300. So, yung mga yan, importante yan. For check-in, importante siya para malaman mo kung saan tayong available seats. Kasi pag nag-check-in ka sa system, may markings yan na makikita. Kung mapapansin nyo, white yung mga upuan. Pag nasa system ka, nag-check-in ka, makikita mo yan. Pag occupied, naka-X na yan. So, iba-iba kasi ang system na ginagamit sa check-in. So, iba-iba rin yung mga icons. Pero usually, it's, occupied is marked with X or red na siya. Kasi may mga passenger din na maarte or maselan. Alam pa nila sa'yo minsan yung seating seating segment ng eroplano na gagamitin. Sasabihin nila, yung eroplano ba ngayon A340? Ilagay mo ako sa 52K. So may mga ganun. So ikaw mapapahanap kasi yung 52K. So dapat aware ka doon. So ganyan po siya. Tapos nasa aircraft na naman, yung may radyo, kayong nakita nyo kanina sa akin na hawak yung radyo. Pag may miss passenger, si passenger de la Cruz, tatawagan ka, iraradyo sa'yo ng gate agent yung nandun sa may gate. Ma'am, passenger 1 de la Cruz missing. Pwede paki-check sa 52A. So ikaw, agent ka, magpapa-cabin page and check. Cabin page, si cabin crew ang gagawa. I-announce nyo ng aeroplano habang naghihintay yung mga passenger. Paging passenger ganito, please parang approach us if you are on your seat or raise your hand if you are on your seat. So ikaw naman, habang nag-announce si cabin crew, pupunta ka doon sa upuan ni Juan de la Cruz. Kung ano yung naka-assign sa kanya, titignan mo kung nandun siya. So pag wala nga talaga siya, at least maibaba na yung bagahe niya kasi naka-check-in may bagahe, paano pag gano'n, di ba? So at least kung wala pa siya sa loob, inaalis na yung bagahe niya, hindi makadagdag ng delay sa aeroplano. So yun yung purpose kung bakit kami pumapasok para i-check yung mga seating ng passenger kung wala pa sila or hindi. So di ba, matrabaho. So hindi siya basta-basta yung ground attendant lang, lang yan, check-in lang, hindi po. So marami kaming ginagawa aside from that. So next po. So ito na may mga sample na aeroplano natin na sa ground attendant. Dapat aware ka sa mga aircraft type na gamit ng iyong airline company. Kasi mamaya sabi mo, ay A350 po yung sasakyan, yung pala A320. Patay ka. Tapos nag-expect yung passenger, di ba? So dapat aware ka din dyan. Tapos may mga parang, kumbaga sa sasakyan, may mga plate number. Dito naman, may mga registry yung mga yan. Kung mapapansin nyo, may nakalagay RP68606. So hindi po magkakapareho ng numbers ng mga aeroplano po. Sa radar din, makikita namin yan. Kung may arrival kami, makikita rin namin yung aircraft registry na tinatawag. So yan po yun. Next po. Ito naman kay Cebu Pacific A330. So makikita nyo usually ginagamit yan sa malalaking flight. So for Dubai, Australia, ganyan po. Next po. So ito naman ATR ng Cebu Pacific, yung mga pumupunta ng Batanes, pumupunta ng Coron, Palawan, sa Siargao, yan po yung ginagamit nila aeroplano kasi maliit ang runway po nila. So mas kailangan nila ng mas maliit na engine aircraft nila. So yung mga propeller type ang ginagamit kasi maliit lang yung capacity. 2-seaters lang yan sa loob, hindi siya tulad ng malalaki na 3 sa both sides po. Next po. So ito, aside from the check-in and the boarding gate, dito rin tayo na-assign minsan pag ground attendant po. Kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga ganyan po, pag may connecting flight, dyan po dumidiretso ang passenger, binibigyan sila ng bagong boarding pass, or minsan information desk din kung saan yung next flight or next counter or next location na pupuntahan naman nagta-transfer po. Next po. So, ito naman yung sample ng mga uniforms ng ground attendant. So, pamilyar naman siguro kayo sa mga uniform nila. So, yung iba kasing airline, pare-pareho po sila ng uniform sa ground and sa flight attendant nila. Pero madidistinguish mo sa mga pins nila or may parang isang part ng uniform na hindi sila pareho. Kaya malalaman mo kung ground attendant sila or flight attendant po. Next po. Then, ito naman yung sa taas, sa Cathay Pacific po yan. Then, ito po, yan po Cebu Pacific. So, next slide po natin, mga uniform lang po yan. So, ito po sa Dinata. Next po. Yan po sa amin po yan, doon sa airline kung saan ako nag-work before. So, dark blue po siya. Next, please. So, ito matututunan mo rin dito kung anong ibang klase ng passport. Ituturo din po yan kung saan ginagamit yung diplomatic and yung official passport sa Pilipinas. So, matututunan nyo din po lahat yan. Next po. So, yung sa radyo nga, you have to learn the phonetic alphabet, di ba? Kasi minsan hindi mo maririnig. You have to spell out, hindi pwedeng A as in Alice, B as in Benny, hindi pwedeng ganun. So, dapat kabisado mo rin yan kasi may mga code sa airline na yan pong ginagamit po. Next po. So, sa baggage tagging, so may tamang process din ng pagtatag at bawal po magkamali. Isa po yan sa mga nagiging reason kung bakit naliligaw yung mga bagahe. Aside from that, minsan nagkakapareho ng pangalan, so dapat itignan mo mabuti kung ano yung tag number. So, importante din yan. Next po. So, ito, pinapakita namin yan sa passengers para malaman nila kung ano yung mga bawal sa bagahe nila. Kasi may mga, alam naman natin, di ba, may mga bawal nga po, like gadgets, ganun, hand carry. So, okay na po yan. Yan po. Challenges lang natin sa job natin is yung mga cancellation, stress sa passenger. So overall, enjoyable ang pagiging ground attendant po. You just have to adapt to it kasi nga, you are engaging with a lot of different people, different nationalities, different cultures. So, yan po yung pinaka-challenges yan. Hopefully, maging successful din kayo like the others na nasa industry and kita-kis tayo soon doon. If you have any questions, you can just ask me later on. And if ever, meron akong webinar, you can join it also. Pwede nyo itanong na lang sa ating mga other speakers sa host natin para malaman po. Thank you so much. Okay na po.
Ayan, thank you, Miss Alyssa, for that very informative talk. And if you have questions for Miss Alyssa, please feel free to comment it inside the chat box and we'll read it for you. Let us now move on to the question and answer portion. And Ma'am Alyssa, we have a question from Jason Calastre Lucena. Pandemic has brought most of challenges for flight attendants. What it is like to be a flight attendant during the pandemic, and what would you do if your cabin manager gave you an order that went against protocol?
Just to clarify guys, hindi pa ako flight attendant. Pero when it comes kasi regarding sa orders against protocol, in the first place kasi, why is it against the protocol? So what protocol is that? Kasi maraming pwedeng tanong ano ba yung protocol na against? For example, may nanganak sa flight, so anong gagawin mo, di ba? So may mga, may mga bagay kasi na pwede mong gawin, sabi nga na extra miling. Sa customer service, you have to do extra miling. It doesn't mean na you have to break the protocol or the rules. Pero in the way na, makakatulong pa din sa iba nang wala kang ginagawang masama. Ang tawag namin doon is extra miling. Kumbaga, kunyari, nakita ang passenger, nahihirapan siya, pero hindi mo naman siya pasahero. So, kumbaga sa'yo, alam mo kasi nasa industry ka, nasa passion mo kasi yung tumulong. So, you can do extra miling. Parang ganun. Kunyari, excess baggage siya, pero may upgrade pa lang available, maliit lang yung babayaran. Compare doon sa i-charge niyang bagahe. Kung nag-upgrade siya, may tuloy babayaran pag nag-upgrade ka, mas maganda pa yung seat mo. Mas maganda, di ba? So, may mga kasi, marami kasing rules sa airline industry na hindi mo basta-basta pwedeng aksyonan, lalo na kung hindi mo i-consider din yung pwedeng maging reasons. Meron kasing two parts, may technical, and then meron yung parang ano naman, pwede mong gawa ng paraan na wala kang nilalabag for customer service purposes. Ganun po.
Thank you, Miss Alyssa. We have another question po from Trisha Ronda from PUP. Good afternoon po, Miss Alyssa. Ask ko lang po anong added documents na po need ngayong may pandemic pag may domestic flight. Before po kasi di ba ticket lang at valid ID?
Yes po. Pag domestic flight kasi lalo ng pandemic. I know you are aware that every LGU, every municipality or city may iba't ibang protocol. So first and foremost, before you book your ticket, i-check mo muna sa LGU. For example, pupunta ka ng Boracay. So saan ba ang Boracay? Di ba sa ano bang lugar ng Boracay? Sa Malay, di ba? So ngayon, i-check mo yung LGU. May mga Facebook naman yung mga yan or tourism ng Malay. I-check mo ngayon kung ano yung mga protocols, ano yung kailangan. So doon mo malalaman kung ano, ito pala yung kailangan. So hindi mo na kailangan mga problema na nandun ka na sa airport tapos kailangan mo pala ng ganito. So iba-iba po siya, hindi siya pare-pareho. Pwedeng pare-pareho in the sense na may protocol ng social distancing, pero regarding sa swab test, kailangan ba natin ng swab test? Kailangan ba natin ng antigen? May quarantine pa ba? So depende po yan lahat sa lugar na pupuntahan mo. So pwedeng pag pupunta kang Boracay, kailangan mo ng swab test. So pwede kang pupunta ng Palawan, baka antigen lang. So you have to check the LGU mismo para malaman mo kung anong requirements nila. Kasi hindi yan under responsibility ng airline na sila pa yung magsasabi sa'yo ng ito po yung kailangan nyo, ma'am. Dapat ikaw rin as a passenger or tourist, dapat alam mo po yan. Pwede ka naman tumingin sa mga website or sa Facebook mismo ng LGU na pupuntahan mo para malaman mo yan. Yun po.
And ma'am, last question from Anna May Dizor. May height requirements po ba, even ground staff? Thank you.
Thank you for that question. So, ito yung tanong ng marami kasi nga, yung iba baka di sila pasado sa flight attendant, baka sa ground pwede. So, for ground attendant, it depends on the airline. For my former company, nagre-require sila at least 5'3" for the height ng babae. Pero, unlike sa cabin crew, we don't have the weight na kailangan, kumbaga, bawal ka overweight, bawal ka underweight. As long as fit to work ka, pwede ka. May ibang airline naman na kahit 4'11", pwede ka maging ground attendant. So, depende kasi sa mga airline yan or ground services. And if ever you want to look for a job sa ground services, don't focus on the airline website only. Kasi dito sa Pilipinas, we have ground service companies. Kumbaga, hiwalay sila sa airline mismo. Hindi si airline ang nag-hire ng ground attendant, kundi si airport ground services. For example, si PAGS, si Denata, si Macro Asia. So, yan po yung mga sample ng ground handling providers natin na pwede nyo i-search if may hiring. At least makita nyo yung mga sample na requirements nila. And pinaka-critical din dyan is most of the ground handling services naghahanap ng at least college graduate or college level. So, mas maganda talagang nasa college kayo mag-graduate instead na mag-stay lang kayo sa high school. So, yun po.
Thank you, Miss Alyssa, for answering our participants' questions. And I would love to read all your questions, but I'm afraid we have to cut it as we are short of time. And now let us proceed to the giving of certificate. Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, College of Tourism, Hospitality and Transportation Management, Department of Hospitality Management. Certificate of recognition is hereby given to Alyssa Perio for sharing her knowledge and expertise on the topic travel and transportation planning in the webinar entitled Hospitality Zone, Redefining the Future of Hospitality. On the 10th day of July 2021 via Zoom meetings, signed by our course facilitator, Ms. Haydn Aikalabit, by our chairperson, Dr. Marina Cristina Q. Trinidad, and by our Dean, Assistant Prof. Lisbeth R. Vergara. Thank you, Ms. Alyssa.
Thank you so much for inviting me and hope marami kayo natutunan.
Thank you po. And may we request everyone to please open your cameras as we will be having our photo op with our first speaker. Just a reminder for everyone, please have a screenshot of you together with our speakers as we are going to require this in our evaluation form. This will serve as our attendance for today's event.
Okay po, good afternoon. We have 11 windows po. First window, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, next window. Wait lang po. 1, 2, 3, smile. Ay, next window po. 1, 2, 3, smile. Fourth window. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, fifth window. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, sixth window. Seventh. Next window. Okay, ninth window. 10th window. And last window. 1, 2, 3. Okay na po, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Avanica. And for those participants who are interested in working in airlines and ground services, we would like to invite you to the webinar of Ms. Alyssa de Perio entitled Start from the Ground on July 17, 2021. This webinar will cost 50 pesos for each participant and will last for 2 to 3 hours. Thank you.
And once again, thank you so much, Miss Alyssa. Now, before we proceed to our second talk, we are going to serve you first an intermission number from one of the organizers. Now, to serenade us with her song, let us all give a warm welcome to Miss Danica Robis. Let's give a virtual round of applause.
If I were a boy, even just for a day, I roll out of bed in the morning and showing what I wanted and go to be with the guys and chase after girls. I kick it with who I wanted and never get confronted for it, 'cause they stick up for me. If I were a boy, I think I could understand how it feels to love a girl. I swear I'll be a better man. I listen to her, 'cause I know how it hurts when you lose someone you wanted, 'cause it's taking you for granted when everything you had got destroyed. If I were a boy, I would turn off my phone, tell everyone it's broken, so they think that I was sleeping alone. I put myself first and make the rules as I go, 'cause I know that she'll be faithful, waiting for me to come home, to come home. If I were a boy, I think I could understand how it feels to love a girl. I swear I'll be a better man. I listen to her, 'cause
Ayan. Thank you for that fantastic performance, Miss Danica. It is really good to see and hear you perform to us again. And I hope that we could collab someday. Charot. Anyways, moving on, let me now introduce you to our second topic discussion. They will tackle the subject of multicultural diversity as they encourage employees to improve or gain new skills through professional development and a third cultural perspective. And as for our second speaker, she graduated Bachelor of Science rather in Hotel and Restaurant Management in Far Eastern University in 2011. She became a bar waitress at Fred Olsen Cruise Lines from January 2014 to May 2017. She became a cruise director administrator at Fred Olsen Cruise Lines from May 2017 to April 2019. And later on, she became a hostess at the same cruise line from May 2019 to January 2020. Now, let us all give a virtual round of applause for Miss Louisa Gonzaga. Good afternoon, Ma'am Louisa.
Is my video on? Sorry.
Hello, Ma'am. Good afternoon po. Medyo mahina lang po yung
Audio ko.
yes po, Ma'am.
Sorry. Ayan, is it better?
Yan, Ma'am. Loud and clear na.
Sorry. Can you guys see me as well? Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties kasi.
Hindi ka pa po namin nakikita.
Ayan. Wala pa rin. Sorry ha. Ayan.
Ayan. Okay na po, Ma'am.
Okay na ba? Hindi ko rin makita sa screen ko if I'm
Yes,
on the
ma'am.
screen.
We can see you na po, Ma'am.
Okay. So, hi, good afternoon, guys. Thanks for the introduction. So, shall I take it away?
Yes, Ma'am.
Yes. Yeah. So, as they've said earlier, I'm Louisa Gonzaga. I am a seafarer for the past 6 years. So, I'm here to share you some first-hand experience during my my sea service and some what do you call this? Some basic things you need to know about applying as a seafarer. So first, next slide, please. Yan. So our learning objectives will be about Seaman Basic Training Course, requirements, salary, and application process, and some tips as well. So next slide, please. Yan. So Seaman Basic Training Course, STCW 95, that's what they call it internationally. So ano nga po ba ang STCW? So STCW, it means Seafarers Training, Certification, and Watchkeeping. So this is a proof that you have gone into basic training, especially on what to do on the sea and how you respond to emergencies. So kasama dyan ang training natin is the basic training. They call it basic training here in the Philippines. Medical first aid, advanced training in firefighting. Yes, magpa-firefight kayo, pero hopefully not. And proficiency in survival craft and rescue boats and seafarers with designated security duties. So ayan, next slide please. Ayan, so one of the requirements nga is the STCW and PT. They call it PT nowadays dito sa Pilipinas. Before it has, marami siyang naging terms. So every now and then, Marina is the one handling seafarers here sa Philippines. So Marina, they change from BST, BT. Meron pang before pero hindi ko na siya inabutan. Marami silang naging terms dyan sa sa mga training certificates. So, ayan, isa yan sa mga first thing you have to secure before you apply for a seafarer job. And then next is your resume. So, next please. Ayan. So this is requirements to work abroad and overseas. So you have to go to the Marina office. Sa ngayon, they accept your applications online. Meron na silang portal para dito. Doon ka na mag-set ng appointment to have a seaman's book. And then so you have to have your high school diploma or your transcript of record if you're in college level na. Your Philippine Statistics birth certificate, it has to be certified, and then duly accomplished marine application form, of course, your NBI clearance, certificate of authentication or verification from CHED or DepEd, and then passport size photos, and then your processing fees, syempre. So for the Siemens book, hindi ko na actually hindi ko talaga masyado matandaan yung mga fees niya, pero it is around 1,500 and 800 talaga for this. So sa ngayon mahirap magpa-expedite ng mga documents since it's a COVID due to the pandemic. Marami na silang backlogs ngayon. So it is one of our struggles right now since last year kasi nga medyo natigil yung pagpa-process nila kasi nga nagkaroon ng mga lockdowns and that. So next slide please. Ayan, so medical certificate. So for my company, in Fred Olsen Cruise Lines, they require us to do medicals every year. So every time we come back from our contract, we are required at least within at least 2 weeks na nakabakasyon ka, dapat ready ka na magpa-medical. So during your vacation, hindi ka pa pwede mag-splurge, hindi ka pa pwedeng kumain ng matatabang pagkain, mga ganyan kasi thorough talaga yung physical examination niya. Your vision, your weight is strictly being monitored. Your body mass index, what else? Yun nga yung mga cardio mo, yung mga internal problems dapat wala ka nun. Oh, sorry. Background noise. Wait lang, guys, ha. So sorry about that. Okay, let me just pause my video. Ayan. Does it sound better? Okay na ba? Ayan. And then other documents for NC2 certificates, these are for you guys, yung mga more on hotel courses. If you're planning to be a food handler on board or be part of the F&B department, you should secure one of these. And then your transcript of records. Next, please. Ayan, salary, yung mga usapan ng mga ganitong trabaho. So usually when I started, I was a bar waitress back then. My starting salary was around, if I'm not mistaken, $1,000. So that time $1,000 is around mga 50 to 60,000 depende siya sa palitan ng dollars no na. So that was way back 2014, 2013. So ngayon kung magsa-start ka, hindi na ako aware masyado sa starting salary ng mga ng mga sa hotel kasi it varies then from one company to another. Depende yan sa offers nila. So for my company, it's a small company, but although it's not very high paying compared to others, bumabawi naman kami sa tip. So if nung sa bar waitress ako noon, if maboka ka, if magaling ka mag-serve, magaling yung memory mo sa mga drinks ng mga pasahero mo, sa mga guest mo, meron kang minimum tip of for one cruise, for let's say for a short cruise. By the way, short cruise is around 3 to 7 days. Long cruise, it will take up to 2 months. Yun, 2 months mo sila makakasama. So talaga makakapisado mo yung mga iniinom nila everyday. So for a short cruise, pag magaling na magaling ka, you can earn let's say 200 pounds. Kasi kami ang pasahero namin are British people. So their currency, local currency is British pounds. So British pounds back then was 1 pound is to 70 pesos, something like that. So if you have 200 pounds in 1 week, meron kang 14,000. 14,000 tip mo pa lang 'yun. Very inviting, 'di ba? So, ayun, tip mo pa lang siya, tapos may basic salary ka pa. So, ayan, sobrang sobrang saya. Parang sobrang saya magtrabaho, 'di ba? Ayan, so ayun nga, salary and benefits differ depending on the position. Siyempre, kung bar waitress ka, iba ang salary ng bar manager mo, iba ang salary ng F&B manager mo, iba ang salary ng assistant mo, iba ang salary ng, siyempre, ng kapitan ng barko, malayong malayo. So, ayan, like the slide says, some position also pay triple the basic salary. So, ayan, yung mga ano yan, nasa technical side natin, yung mga nagpapatakbo talaga ng barko. So, majority of companies offer paid leave vacation. Sa amin, ang ginagawa sa amin ng company namin, they take like a small amount of your salary. Iniipon nila yon for you. So, you have money to take home aside from your salary. You have something for your vacation. I think it's practical para sa akin kasi for us seafarers, we don't have sahod kapag umuwi kami, as in zero. Zero talaga. So pag wala kang work, wala kang sahod, that's for 2 to 3 months. Yan. 2 to 3 months. Kaya sabi nila, ang seafarer daw is one day millionaire. Medyo totoo, medyo hindi. Hindi lahat. Hindi lahat. If you're not wise with your money, talagang lilipad lang yung pera mo. Next slide, please. So application process for a cruise job here in the Philippines. So first of all, you have to prepare your documents. Gaya ng kanina yung certificates mo, certificate of your training, and then your transcript of records, Siemens book, passport, and everything. So, and then the next step is find your shipping agency, your manning agency. So ito, kung magtatanong kayo saan may mga agencies, mas the best is mag-walk-in kayo sa offices nila. I'm not sure if still allowed ngayon kasi it's due to COVID, no? Pero back in when I started until I stopped for now is pwedeng mag-walk-in, pwede ka magpasa ng resume mo. Huwag kayong maniniwala sa mga online masyado kasi alam naman natin maraming mga scammers na online. And then, pwede sila mag-provide ng kahit anong proof na gusto mo. It's digital na ngayon kasi they can provide anything now. They can find it on the internet. So, huwag kayong maniniwala ng ganun basta-basta. So, you have to find it yourself. Marami niyan sa within Manila, Malate, Manila to be exact. Nandyan, nagkalat ang mga manning agencies dyan. Ang challenge naman dyan actually kapag nag-walk-in ka is, ang tanong naman is, accredited ba talaga sila ng POEA? Yan. So you have to be wise when you look for your manning agency. And then when you are called for your exam or your interview, you have to prepare your documents and be on time. So wag tayong gumaya sa mga Filipino time. Wag tayong pupunta doon ng late ng 10 minutes because it will set an expectation of the employer na ay dito pa lang late na yan, paano pag sa barko na? Kasi sa barko you have to be on time, on the dot. Kung pwedeng mas maaga ka, dapat mas maaga ka. Pero no lates dapat. Umpisa pa lang, nag-a-apply ka pa lang, dapat hindi ka nalilate. And then follow instructions provided by the recruiter like your medical exam and additional training if ever. Medical exams, the recruiters, they will be the one to decide kung saan ka magpapamedical. Hindi pwedeng ikaw yung mamimili. Hindi mo sabihin, ay ma'am, ito po yung malapit sa amin, dito po ako magpapamedical. No. They will give you choices. You just have to choose kung alin doon, what works best for you. And then, sabi ko nga kanina, your medical is very thorough. Uh, Tsaka hindi siya yung isang oras lang. It could take a whole day. It could take a whole day actually kasi marami kang kasabay. That's the challenge. And then additional trainings, yan yun sa mga may ratings na yung merong mga which is not part of the hospitality industry anymore. Pero just to give you an idea sa mga technical side natin on the engine department, tech department yan. They have extra trainings kasi they're on the technical side. And then, ayan na, tapos ka na sa lahat, no? Pumasa ka na sa medical mo, and then pumasa ka na sa interviews mo. Now, the contract signing. What's in it for me? You have to read your contract. Kasi mamaya sinabi doon, pag nahulog ka sa barko na nahulog ka sa tubig nang hindi inaasahan, hindi ka namin sagot. Excuse me. May mga, hindi ko sinasabing may ganun, pero what if ganun yung ipapirma sa inyo, 'di ba? So you have to be vigilant, you have to read everything, not everything, but you have to run through it, okay? You have to run through your contract. And then yes, good luck with being a cruise ship worker or a seafarer. Okay, next slide please. Ayan, tips on in applying for a cruise job in the Philippines. So actually, this is the number one na tip ko para sa inyo. You should ask first yourself, is this the job for me? Kasi when I first started, I didn't think this job is for me. Hindi hesitant talaga ako. It was not my decision to be on a ship kasi during that time, uso pa yung what my mom said. Yan. What my mom said. Kasi during that time, hindi ko rin alam bakit ako nag-HRM sa honestly. Just because yun yung mga course ng friends ko, nandun din ako. Ganyan yung trend sa amin noon. I don't know if still a trend nowadays. But yun nga, I started working for offices because I wanted to be with my boyfriend that time. Yun yung honest. So ayoko talagang umalis noon kasi I don't want to be separated with my long-time boyfriend back then. Pero yun nga, tanungin mo muna yung sarili mo, gusto mo ba tong gawin? Yan. And then if you say yes to yourself, be prepared for it. Andiyan na yung long hours. Yan. Magsisimula ka ng, let's say, magsimula ka ng 6 a.m. When I was as a bar waitress, the earliest shift I had is 6 a.m. And then, broken time yon during the day. I have like long hour break, maybe 5 hours break during daytime, in the afternoon yan. That's my napping time. But then I will get to finish at around 12 midnight sa gabi na. So imaginein mo yung tulog mo ng from 12 midnight, yung 12 midnight mo na off na yon, hindi mo pa masusulit yon kasi there will be times na yung 12 midnight na yun, you have to extend kasi marami pang guests. Hindi mo sila pwedeng paalisin. You have to leave when the guests leave. Although there is a closing time for each outlets in the on board the ship, hindi pwedeng kunwari, let's say 12 o'clock ang closing time, 12 din yung off mo. Huwag mo nang asahan na 12 ka din mag-off talaga. So you have to clean up, you have to marami kang dapat gawin, especially when we are going to a US port. They have the highest cleaning standard. So it's like kunwari the next day we're docking on San Francisco, and then hindi namin alam if there will be an inspector on board. So we have to prepare before that. So we have to clean thoroughly, as in thorough talagang cleaning. Halos ibaliktad na namin yung buong barko para lang malinis namin yun. Ganun ka strict yung standard nila. Because if we fail that USPH standards, we cannot dock. Hindi kami makakadock doon, or in the future, I'm not sure if it will apply once we dock there, but in the future there is a scoring system kasi siya eh. So you have to reach a certain point para makapasok ka sa US waterways. Ayan, so and no days off. Sad to say, every day is Monday. So, ang sinasabi na lang namin sa sarili namin is another day, another dollar. Hindi namin sinasabi na everyday Monday kasi nakakapagod pakinggan. So, ang sinasabi na lang namin is another day, another dollar. And then, yung work at least 3 to 5 months straight, I think this is only applicable for officers. For hotel people like us under officers, we usually ang pinipirmahan natin contract is 8 months minus 1 or plus 1. It means it could be 7 months, 8 months, or 9 months. Dati umaabot kami ng 11 months. Kasi dati ang pinipirmahan pa namin is 9 plus 1 minus 1. Pero ngayon, they started implementing 8 plus 1 minus 1. And then for extensions more than 9 months, you have to sign a waiver. Recently, when the COVID started, I had a friend, she had to stay on board for 1 year. Hindi talaga sila makauwi because there were no flights. So they had to stay on the ship for 12 months. Imagine, you're home, away from home, for 12 months. Very, very worried ka ano na ba nangyayari sa mundo dahil sa COVID. So wala kang masyadong idea kasi limited yung internet connection mo. You have internet connection, but in my experience, our interconnection is very slow. Yeah, and very slow, very expensive. It's like £5, that's 300 pesos in our country. 300 pesos for 1 hour. 1 hour, that is not unlimited ha. It's not unlimited. And then very slow nga yun. So yung 300 pesos mo is ubos lang siya for nothing. Yan. And then this is a job on the sea. If you're constantly seasick or have a fear of it, don't push yourself. Hindi ko dinidiscourage yung mga madaling, yung mga sukahin sa mga biyahe, ganun, yung mga mahihiluhin. Hindi ko kayo dinidiscourage. For early as now, if you're into cruise line jobs, you can try to push yourself na yung parang sa motion sickness. Kasi there was a time when I started out, my first ever day, hindi ko siya makakalimutan. We were set out to go to Caribbean. It's 7-day long at sea. And then there's a thunderstorm on our way. So on my first day, I was very happy. Okay ako, ganyan. Masaya ako sa job ko. And then the second day, I wanted to go home. Kasi that's the day when we met the thunderstorm on our way. So to give you an idea, the sea waves were up until 14 meters high. We have a very small ship, not very, very small. Our passenger is, the maximum is 1,000 passenger. So compared dun sa mga massive cruise ships, our ship is small. Pag tinabi mo kami, magmumukha kami lifeboat. Ganun kaliit yung ship namin. So imagine sumasayaw kami in the middle of the sea. Yung nguso ng barko talagang nagde-deep dive siya, and then nagsisway siya side to side. So talagang nakakahilo. Hindi ako mahihiluhin ha. Hindi ako mahihiluhin. I am not afraid of I am not a motion sick every time. Pero kasi this is the first time I've experienced it. So I had to take seasick pills, I have to take injection para ma-stop yung motion sickness ko. But unfortunately, hindi ko siya kinaya. I had to sleep all day. So my manager told me, okay, be back in 2 hours. So unfortunately, I slept for like 14 hours. The next shift na ako nakabalik kasi hindi ko talaga kinaya yung alon. Sobra niyang alon. As in, yung mapapadasal ka talaga habang naglalakad ka. Yung gusto mo nang isuot yung life jacket mo. Kasi tumatagilid yung barko, as in 90 degrees for like 2 minutes. 2 minutes kayo nakaganyan. Imagine that, and naglalaglagan yung mga plato, yung mga baso, yung mga guest nyo nagtutumbahan. Imagine that. Hindi ko kayo tinatakot, pero it is part of being a seafarer. And then work hard on your dreams. Of course, in every job, you have to work hard on your dreams naman talaga, di ba? As for me, Dave mentioned earlier, I've played different roles. Naging bar waitress ako, naging cruise director, administrator ako, and then I've been a hostess. So when I became a administrator, I've enjoyed it because I was working, kasi parang nagsawa ako, hindi naman nagsawa, parang I've been facing guests for 3 straight years. And then I've been dealing with complaints. I've been trying to memorize their names, their drinks, and all. Parang medyo napagod ako. And then given I have scoliosis, so I had a hard time carrying a bar tray full of drinks. So sabi ko sa sarili ko, there was an opening. Sabi ko, I want to try it. Kasi the lady in charge got pregnant, so she was sent home. So they had to hire immediately to take over the position. So I applied. Actually, I just expressed my interest. I didn't apply for the job itself. I just said I want to be a cruise administrator. So I was happy, very happy with the cruise administrator job because it's like an office work. I work for 8 until 6 p.m. Yon, very ano ko doon. Very free ako sa time ko because I work alone in office. I have my own office. I do everything on my own pace. I work independently, although I work under the cruise administrator. By the way, the cruise director, cruise administrator is the one in charge of the advertisements on board. So I work on the computer. I advertise entertainment, something like that, and their products all over the ship. So yun yung trabaho ko. And then uh, I was under the entertainment department na kasi. So I got off the F&B department already. I went to the entertainment department. And then nakita ko yung mga hosts naman. Yan. Usually the host is for British people sa mga English. Kasi syempre kailangan fluent ka, kailangan makipag-joke ka sa mga guests. Ganon. To that level, kailangan mingle ka sa kanila. Sabi ko, gusto ko yan. Gusto ko yun. So, challenge ko ulit yung sarili ko. I am an ambivert. I'm extrovert and introvert at the same time. So, minsan talaga, it was a big challenge for me to speak on a foreign language and then express myself and be happy. Parang ganun. And then I have to host events. I have to be, hindi siya, medyo out of the comfort zone ko siya. Pero pinush ko yung self ko because sabi ko, gusto ko yun. So I worked hard for it because considering being a hostess is moving up for me. Hindi siya ka-level. Hindi ko sinasabing mababa ang pagiging bar waitress. But salary-wise and position-wise, it is higher than the bar waitress. So ayan, work hard on your dreams palagi. And always challenge yourself. Next slide, please. Meron pa ba? Ayan. Make sure you are applying at an accredited recruitment agency. Ayan nga yung in-explain ko kanina, you have to make sure it is POEA accredited. Next, read your contract and benefits like what I have discussed earlier before signing. And then always check if you have your passport and visa. So yan ang, kumbaga yan ang puso ng pagiging seaman mo, yung seaman's book at passport mo. Pag wala ka niyan and your visa. Pag wala ka niyan kasi, pag tinanong ka kasi ng agency, may passport ka na ba? Pag sinabi mong wala pa po, they will be discouraged hiring you kasi you're not yet ready. Although you have your certificates, you have all your records, you have to have your passport and seaman's book ready. Kasi hindi ka nila madedeploy agad. Their goal is to deploy deploy continuously. Hindi ka nila pwedeng hintayin, hindi sila pwedeng mag-adjust sa'yo. You have to be ready all the time. And always place your files together. I had a friend last year, 2019, when he is on the airport already. But then, hindi ko alam kung ano nangyari sa kanya. His luggage got lost. I don't know if yung luggage niya yung nawala o siya yung nawala. So, nawala yung luggage niya, which has all his papers. So our agency always advise us to have our papers in a not up on a, what do you call this, a stroller, wag doon. They advise us to have at least a backpack para nakikarry namin siya palagi. Hindi siya out of our sight palagi. At least if we cannot see it on our back, at least we have it on our body. Kahit saan tayo magpunta, dala-dala namin yun. So, ayan, next slide. Do we have another slide? I don't think so. Ayan. So, ayun nga, just a few, maybe you have some questions, but ayun nga, these are the usual questions people ask me, no? So, they asked me about my previous employment and how have these previous experiences helped you prepare for a career at sea? Actually, I have worked for Century Park Hotel as a room attendant. So kasi ang requirement for being on a cruise line is you have to have at least 1 to 2 years experience and on a 4 or 5-star hotel here in our country, or in a fine dining restaurant, or at least in an inter-island, yung to go, yan, yung mga to go na yan. At least 1 year experience ang inire-require nila. So ngayon, yung experience ko in Century Park Hotel didn't really help me a lot kasi I was a room attendant back then. But then I mentioned earlier I have scoliosis, so
Ayan, I think we're having a small technical issue. Miss Louisa Gonzaga. I think she's having an internet connection problem.
We were waiting for Miss Louisa. Before we proceed to the Q&A forum, let us first introduce our next speaker with the topic multicultural diversity.
So our third speaker, he studied and graduated at IRIS and started working as a food and beverage manager at Dream Cruises in 2009 up to present. Let us all welcome Mr. Arnold Deala. Let's give him a virtual round of applause.
Hi everyone.
Hello sir, good afternoon po.
Hi everyone. Okay ba? Narinig niyo ba ako?
Yes sir, we can hear loud and clear po.
Hi everyone. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon sir. Narinig niyo po ba kami?
Yes. Loud and clear.
Yes, okay.
Right. By the way, again, my name is Arnold Deala. I'm currently on board Explorer Dream or Dream Cruises as a food and beverage manager. I'm 19 years now, sea service. I was graduated, as I said, degree of Bachelor of Science at the of your school, PUP. And thank you for inviting me as one of the resource persons of this webinar. Thank you, especially to Ruth. Can we start with the slide?
Yes, sir. You can start na po.
Please. Our topic is a multicultural diversity, perspective, and destinations. One questions that you ask me is what importance of knowing other cultural perspectives and other countries. Can you please? This is the learning objectives that we will tackle And I have 5 questions that you all guys given me, and I tried my best to answer all these questions. The importance of knowing other cultures' perspective of other countries. Number 2 is requirements needed to apply in cruise ship. New trends and challenges. Innovative skills need to acquire by hospitality student. Motivations to continue in hospitality industry. Next slide, please. Importance of knowing other cultural perspective of other countries. It makes people bloom, like I said. Next slide. Next slide, please. Bloom. It minimizes biases by avoiding partiality, favoritism, and undue judgment. Like in my case, I'm the food and beverage manager on board. No? So although I have a lot of Filipino staff right now, so kailangan hindi ka pwedeng maging bias dahil nga marami akong Filipinong staff, kailangan ang favoritism ko nasa kanila. Hindi dapat ganun. So dapat yun yung try kung magiging successful ka at magiging manager ka someday, dapat alam mo yung pag-handle nung favoritism. Saka huwag kang masyadong dahil Pilipino ka tapos Pilipino yung staff mo, nakikita masyadong kang close sa mga Pilipino, which is dapat ina-avoid nyo yan kapag dating sa panahon na ikaw na yung manager. Then it enhances learning. It makes people expand understanding of lifestyle, uniqueness, and beliefs, etc. Working on board shift, right now we have 26 different nationalities on board. We have Sweden, we have Vietnamese, we have Indonesian, we have Filipino. We have a lot of different nationalities on board. So, kinagandahan, kapag sa barko ka nagtatrabaho, natututo ka mapag-aralan yung mga mga cultures nila, yung lifestyles nila. Example, sa isang kwarto, 4 kayo. So, merong halo-halo kayong nationality doon. Meron kayong Vietnamese, may Malaysian, may Thailander. So at least, nakikita mo yung iba-ibang behavior nila, yung lifestyle nila, yung uniqueness nila. So, ayun ang kinagandahan kung nagtatrabaho ka sa barko. It's enhance your learning. Hindi lang yung sarili nating culture yung nakikita natin. But then again, nakikita mo yung ibang nationality. Next is fosters oneness. Being aware of group identity will help us understand the behavior of members better. Like I said, no, dahil nga sama-sama kayo sa isang kwarto, 4 kayo, no, nagiging bond kayo together, nagiging para isang pamilya. Kasi kung trabaho sa barko hindi biro, as sabi nga ni naunang speaker sa akin, si Miss Louisa, sa barko ikaw yung mismo ang magtatrabaho sa sarili mo. Wala kang nanay dito, wala kang tatay. So, ang magiging pamilya mo dito, yung magiging cabin mate mo. So, dapat alam mong colleagues ka na nagdadasal during sa kwarto mo, hindi ka pwede mag-ingay. So, kailangan matuto kang makisama. So kayo nagiging bonding kayong lahat. Magiging family mo sila. Right? Then, next is contribute to organization and uniqueness, embracing multicultural workplace. Not just studying their cultural perspective, adds uniqueness to organization. Diversity is an asset of the company. Pagsama-sama kayo nagtatrabaho na parang pamilya, mas madaling magtrabaho kaysa yung nagkakanya-kanya kayo. Lalo na sa F&B, I'm the biggest department within the shift in the hotel. I'm handling 300 plus crew. Imagine, ako lang mag-isa, hawak yung mga 300 plus crew with a different nationality. Paano ko sila magpasama-sama para maging kaming one as a big F&B family. So, kung isa ka doon sa mga F&B staff, kailangan matuto ka talagang makisama. Kailangan mawala yung pagiging mayabang mo, yung pagiging mataas mo. So dapat dito pare-parehas kayo as equal. Walang kung sinong magaling, kung sinong magaling mag-English, kung sinong hindi marunong mag-English. Walang ganon. So dapat pare-parehas kayo. Encourage mingling. Try other culture as form as connecting or mingling with them. Trying. It's an opportunity for interactions with different cultures, training in practice and empathy, and practical exposure to the norms and certain groups. Ito yung sinasabi ko, lalo na kung bago ka sa barko, new staff ka, tapos dadatnan mo yung mga matatagal na sa barko, almost 5 years, 6 years na sa barko. Siyempre, wala kang alam, bago ka. So paano mo may adapt yung sarili mo sa bago mong tahanan dito sa barko? So kailangan, pag bago ka, kailangan andun yung yung kailangan hanggang maaari. Hindi ko naman sabihin sambahin mo sila. I mean, kailangan matuto kang gumalang muna kasi sila yung nauna sa'yo. Kailangan, kung meron ka talagang kunyari, galing ka sa magandang family, no, mayamang pamilya, tapos dinatnan mo yung mga nagulat ka sa mga dinatnan mo dito, sabat marunong kang ibabayan, marunong mong kainin. Yung mga bagay na ginagawa mo dyan, hindi mo pwedeng dalhin dito sa barko. Kailangan talaga mapag-aralan mo. Enable para mag-survive ka dito sa barko. Sabi nga nung naunang speaker sa akin, si Miss Louisa, sabi niya, ang magtrabaho sa barko, hindi biro. Wala kasing day off dito. Diba? So talagang 24/7, nagtatrabaho ka dito. Pero syempre, may certain hours lang. Sa amin dito sa barko, ang maximum hours ng staff ko dito is 10 hours. 12 hours rest, 10 hours working hours. In between, meron silang mga break. Yung mga ganon. So, as much as possible, kung magbabarka kayo, dumating yung panahon, magbabarko kayo, unang crew kayo, ayun gawin nyo kagad. Kailangan yung makisama kayo, matuto kayong makisama. Huwag mong ipasok yung alam mo yung mga mentality natin mga Pilipino, minsan, sad to say, hindi naman lahat, di ba? Pero pag pumasok yung pagiging Pilipino natin, doon minsan nagkakaproblema eh. Pag pinairal natin yung tinatawag natin, sorry, pero that is true. No, for 19 years on board, andun yung minsan yung yabang natin, di ba? Yun ang aalisin nyo pag bago kayo sa barko. Able to survive. Pag pinasok nyo yun, medyo mahihirapan kayo pag-adapt, lalo na sa pagiging mingle ng iba't ibang nationality. Yung makisama ka sa 26 different nationality, hindi biro.
Hello, sir?
Reklamo yung ginagawa ng ng mga kasama mo sa barko. Next slides, please. Hello? Requirements needed apply in cruise ship. I think most of the subject is already tackled by Miss Louisa. But this is the additional requirements. Able to apply in the cruise ship, this is all those requirements that you needed, guys. Health requirements. Nowadays, this COVID-19 because of the pandemic. But before my time, we don't have this full COVID-19 vaccinations. But in other companies, they never require this one. But now in our companies, they are requiring already these COVID-19 vaccinations. You have to be fully vaccinated and able for you to apply in our company. Next is the yellow fever vaccinations. Then Hep B vaccine. This is for food handlers. If you're applying for food and beverage and galley, you have to require this yellow Hep B vaccinations. Passing a psychological exam, of course. Some hospitality sectors require more. Like yung sinabi ni Miss Louisa, depende sa company na applyan mo. No, kasi sa atin, maraming company ng mga cruise line, yung iba hindi naman nire-requires masyado ng madami. Pero sa amin, ito yung mga requirements na kailangan mo. Next slides, please. This is also tackled by Miss Louisa. But in additional, this is part of SOLAS requirements. SOLAS means safety of life and sea. No, part of the safety life of sea, yung sinasabi niyang BST, Basic Safety Training Course, this is all under Basic Safety Training Course. The STCW Personal Survivor Techniques, you have to learn all these things because pagdating mo sa barko, kailangan in case ng emergency, wag naman mangyari, wag mo naman sana may mangyari sa barko, kayo ang unang taong maggagawa ng lahat ng ito. Kagaya ng STCW Survivor Techniques, Personal Safety and Social Responsibility, Elementary First Aid, Firefighting. Kasi dito sa barko, walang bombero. Ang bombero dito, yung mga crew. So, kailangan mo talagang pag-aralan to. Kaya kayo, bago kayo makapagbarko, mag-aaral kayo nitong mga firefighting. Part to ng SOLAS nyo. The proficiency and designated security service, ito yung SDSD. Then increasing required certain companies, land-based, hospitality sectors require different types of training. Pero sa barko, ito talaga yung mga requirements. Besides that, yung passport na sinasabi ni Miss Louisa, yung seaman book, no, yung tawag dito, medical certificate, kailangan talaga yung mga yan to be able to join to the cruise ship. Kailangan makuhanan mo to lahat. Pero ewan ko lang kung magkano na ngayon to. Last year, I think, yung basic safety course training nasa almost 10K na siya ata eh. Previously sa amin, 5K lang. Ewan ko lang ngayon. Pero covered na lahat tong mga subject, mga course na to pag kumuha ka ng BST. Next slide, please. The interview, focus. Of course, you all know this. No, you have to present yourself, then confident or communication. Ang magibigay ko lang tips sa
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Ako nag-start ako as a bartender. So, nag-apply ako ng bartender.
Sir, sorry. Medyo nag-choppy po kayo kanina. Nagkakat-cut po kayo.
Okay.
Pero okay na po ngayon.
Sabi ko nga, yung sinabi ni Louisa, nung nag-start siya sa bar waitress, ako nag-start ako as a bartender. Barman, nag-start ako ng 2002. No? Then, pag nag-a-apply ka ng interview, kailangan dapat ready ka. Kunyari, kung bartender ina-applyan mo, dapat alam mo yung mga mixing, yung mga pangalan nito, mga recipe ng itatanong sa'yo. Kailangan pag-aaralan mo talaga yon. Hindi pwede na nag-interview ka, tapos nag-apply ka ng bartender, tapos tanungin ka ng isang concoctions ng drinks, tapos hindi mo masasagot. Siyempre, isa na yun sa mga factor na ikababaksak mo. Kailangan dapat prepared ka. Diba? Ready ka. Tapos focus lang kung anong yung tinatanong sa'yo ng interviewer. Dapat nakapokus ka lang doon. Huwag ka na mag-extra. Yung magbibigay pa ng mga storytelling na wala naman doon sa sinasabi. Basta focus ka lang kung ano yung sinabi sa'yo, yun ka lang, doon ka lang sumagot. Kasi mostly yung mga nag-i-interview sa'yo, lalo na pagdating sa final interview, foreigner na yung nag-i-interview sa'yo. Hindi na yung mga local. Mostly, pag final interview, sa company namin kasi yung mga foreign managers na yung nag-i-interview. So dapat ang gusto lang talaga nila, kung ano yung sinabi nila, doon ka lang mag-focus. Huwag ka nang magbibigay ng ibang sagot. Focus lang lagi. Tapos job knowledge, yung sinabi ko, dapat alam mo yung ina-applyan mo. Kung waiter, waitress, bartender, galley, o beverage manager, dapat alam mo yung posisyon na ina-applyan mo. Tapos sa ibang company, syempre nire-required lagi sa amin, sa company namin, nire-required yung height talaga. Nung nag-umpisa ako, dyan sa Magsaysay, ang height limit yata sa babae is 5'4", 5'4", 5'2". Alam ko 5'4", pero ngayon hindi na sila ganun kahigpit eh. Kasi meron na akong mga staff ditong maliliit eh na sumasampa ngayon. Ewan ko nga, nagulat ako paano hindi, joke. Basta may certain height. Usually 5'4" sa babae, tapos sa lalaki is 5'7", I think 5'7". Sa company namin na ewan ko lang sa ibang company. Tapos yung iba naman talagang tinitignan din yung yung BMI, yung body mass index. Dapat hindi ka masyadong mataba kung lalaki ka. Dapat walang masyadong malaki yung tiyan mo. Doon pa lang medyo tagilid ka na. So dapat hanggang as much as possible kayo ay mga bata pa, dapat i-maintain niyo yung niyo, yung tawag dito, yung katawan nyo hanggang sa maaari. Huwag ka masyadong magpalobo kasi pag nagiging disadvantage mo yun para nag-a-apply ka. So, dapat physically fit ka. Next slide, please. New trends and challenges. Yeah, ito yung hirap ko ngayon dito sa barko dahil sa pandemic. No, lalo na dito sa company namin. Siyempre, ngayon, dahil nga sa COVID, so ito na yung mga digital saka contactless guest service na ina-apply namin ngayon dito sa barko. No, bago mag yung barko, bago sumampay yung mga pasahero, so meron na kaming mga sine-setup na mga digital and contactless na para at least matrace namin kung yung mga setup na mga tawag dito, ng mga temperature, mga scanning. So, ito yung mga challenges namin ngayon. Kasi, kunyari, syempre, nauso na itong mga trends na to, yung mga temperature check, yung tinatawag namin APM, yung effective preventive measure, nandiyan yung contact tracing. So, ang challenges, syempre, nagiging less contact ka na rin sa guest. Nagkakaroon ng gap. Hindi kagaya dati, pagpasok talaga ng guest, kung pwede mo nga lang yakapin, hug mo sila, hi, good afternoon, hi, welcome on board. So ngayon, hindi mo na magagawa yun eh. Kasi dahil nga dito sa pandemic, so ayun yung nagiging bagong trend sa mga barko, yun yung mga bagong hirap. Yung iba naman, nire-require talaga nila yung ibang guest, kailangan naka-vaccine na rin. Naka-complete vaccine na sila bago sila makapag-cruise. So far sa amin, hindi pa naman. So ito lang yung mga preventive measure namin talaga muna ngayon ginagawa dito sa barko. Yung meron kaming mga EPM, yung mga temperature check na kakala. Pag nakita namin medyo nag-red yung infrared namin, doon, so hinihiwalay na namin yung mga guests. Next slide, please. IT hospitality. There's a rising automation sa process for voice recognitions and facial recognitions. Robotic service are underway. Guests can control their stay on board. Everything seems to be becoming smart. Kaya like sinasabi ko nga, ngayon syempre dahil sa pandemic, ito na yung madami na yung gastos sa company kasi kailangan talaga namin mag-provide ng mga ganitong mga machine para para iwasan natin yung dumami o may spread yung virus lalo na sa barko. No, sa barko kasi talagang pag nagkaroon talaga ng isang positive lang dito sa barko, matik, staff, operations. No, so ayun ang ayaw namin mangyari. As much as possible dapat talagang ma-aware namin yung mga pagpasok ng mga guests na may mga symptoms na makikita namin. So kailangan namin talaga magbumili ng mga ganito, ng mga high-tech na machine para maiwasan. Yun nga lang, syempre, sabi ko nga, ang challenges doon, yung nababawasan talaga yung yung service mo sa kanila dahil sa barrier ng mga ganito. Next slide, please. Ito yung sinasabi ko, enhanced preventive measurement, which is ina-apply namin ngayon. COVID-19 has led increased consciousness, well-being, safety, and hygiene. From infrared cameras to robust contact tracing, industries are always on their toes. Even after this current pandemic has passed, our challenges here, sabi ko nga, siyempre bukod dun sa gastos talaga ng company, talagang nagkakaroon ng matagal na serbisyo compare dati. Kasi kailangan nilang magkaroon ng social distancing pag magpapasok sila dito sa barko. So it takes time talaga para bago pa sila makapanik silang lahat dito sa barko. Dahil dito sa mga new trends na nangyayari sa atin. Next slide, please. Strategic partnership integrations. To survive, some hospitality industry needs to partner with different institutions. For instance, land-based hotels need to partner with cruise lines to accommodate go on board. Ito nangyayari na ngayon. Kami, bago kami magsampang, kailangan mag-quarantine muna kami dyan sa Pinas for 14 days. Then after 14 days, kailangan namin mag-quarantine dito sa country kung saan ka. Ngayon, nandito ako sa Taiwan. So, sa Taiwan, higpit, kailangan 3 weeks naka-quarantine ka. So, ang mga bagong trend talaga ngayon ng mga hotel, dahil nga sa wala silang kita sa mga normal guest nila, ang ginagawa nila ngayon, nakikipag-partner sila sa mga cruise line. So, yung mga land-based, instead na gawin nilang as normal, kaysa wala silang kita dahil sa pandemic, ginawa nilang parang quarantine hotel ngayon yung mga hotel natin dyan ngayon sa Pinas. Kagaya ng Holiday Inn dyan. Dyan ako sa Holiday nag-quarantine for 14 days. So, ngayon yung mga trend na ginagawa natin para mag-survive yung mga ibang hotel. So, nakikipag-partner siya sa mga cruise line. So, ang mga cruise line, lahat ng seafarers nila, doon nila lahat pinagka-quarantine sa mga hotel na bigay ng company nila. And from then, paglipad nila sa ibang bansa, ganun din. May kukuha na rin ibang hotel sa iyo para din mag-quarantine ka for certain weeks bago ka makasampa ng barko. So yun yung mga talagang mga new trends na nangyayari ngayon. Compare dati wala yung mga ganito. Basta pag binigyan ka na ng company mo ng joining, immediately punta ka lang ng airport. Pagdating mo, nandun ka na sa barko. Ngayon, hindi. Grabe, ang hirap ngayon. Kaya sa yung sakripisyo, talagang kailangan mo magsakripisyo. Then, next slide. Drive for creativity. To attract more customer, hospitality industry must win back the customers by offering more and innovating more services, providing home delivery or takeaway meals. For some restaurants will be available. Shift can become floating hotels or dormitories to service big projects goals. In 2020, he joined forces for loves to combine his passion for tech and marketing with the hospitality industry. Ito yung sinasabi ko. So sa mga bagong trends ngayon, to be able to survive, ang ginagawa ko ng iba, na instead na magsarado sila, so pinapasok na talaga ngayon yung sa mga hospitality industry, pinapasok na ngayon yung mga deliveries. Sa amin dito sa barko, ang ginagawa namin kapag ngayon, hindi na kami nagsa-serve service. Mostly, inaano na namin, nire-repack namin yung mga pagkain, tapos siniserve na namin sa guest. So parang less contact na dahil sa pandemic. So ito yung mga bagong trend ngayon na ginagawa. Hindi kagaya dati talagang makita mo buffet service, Western, Chinese, so a la carte, all the restaurants here sa amin dito sa barko, lahat bukas. Dahil dito sa bagong new trend, wala na. So may mga barrier, makikita mo dyan din sa atin, makikita mo pag kumain ka sa restaurant, may mga certain barriers na silang ginagawa ngayon, di ba? So dito rin sa amin, meron na din ganun. Ayun nga lang, syempre, hindi mo na mapakita yung talagang gusto mong service. Sabi nga ni Louisa kanina, Louisa ba? Sabi niya, kumikita siya sa tip, di ba? Ganon din dito. So dahil nga sa less service na, so isa rin yun sa mga factors, maliles din yung tip mo kasi wala ka ng contact masyado sa mga guests. All right, next slide please. Innovative skills need to acquire by hospitality student. Mga makabagong technology. So dapat i-get adapt nyo talaga to. No? Get adapt with using online platforms sa training and meeting done with your social media links. So kayong mga kung gagraduate na kayo, talaga dapat i-adapt nyo to mga mga bagong technology na to. Which is kayang-kaya nyo naman ngayon kasi nasa modern na kayo, era. Compare sa amin, nung umpisa kami, wala kami mga ganito. So, I don't see na mahihirapan kayo dito. Health consciousness, make hygiene and protective measure as personal lifestyle so that you will able to culture shock on board. Ito yung sinasabi ko, dapat talaga, kung talagang dadating yung panahon na mag-a-apply kayo sa barko, kailangan talaga physically fit kayo, tapos mentally ready kayo. Kasi nga, sinasabi ko sa'yo, pag nandito ka na sa barko, talagang ma-culture shock ka kasi iba-iba kayong nationality, iba-iba yung behavior nyo, tapos wala kang kasama dito, ikaw yung mismong sarili mo maglalaba, ikaw yung sarili mong gigising sa sarili mo. So dapat kailangan talagang health conscious ka, kailangan talagang fit ka kung talagang gusto nyo mag-apply ng barko. Pero kung may hina-hina ka, kunyari mamasboy ka, papasboy ka, tapos mag-a-apply ka ng barko, tingin ko hindi talaga bagay ka dito kasi wala dito yung pag yung napalo ka ng manager mo, iiyak ka dito, hindi uso. So kailangan talagang malakas na yung ready ka na, malakas na yung loob mo, prepared ka na pag magbabarko ka. Next slide please. Guest orientation. Learn how to connect with the guests with exceeding their expectation despite the contactless interactions. Oh, 'di ba? Dahil nga sa mga new trends na nangyayari ngayon, dahil sa pandemic, hindi ibig sabihin hindi mo na pwedeng i-connect yung sarili mo sa guest. Marami pa ring paraan, lalo na dito sa amin sa barko. Gumagawa pa rin kami ng mga bagay na na pwede namin ibigay sa lahat ng guests. Kagaya ng pagpasok pa lang nila sa barko, tinatanong na kaagad namin nila kung ano yung mga gusto nila. Mo pa rin, ibigay mo pa rin yung mga bagay na gusto nilang gawin sa loob ng barko. Ganun pa rin yung ginagawa namin. Although less nga, hindi ka na talagang makalapit sa kanila. Pero through phone, through kasi dito merong may mga guest request form. So pwede nilang isulat mga gusto nilang kainin o ano ba gusto nilang gawin. So from doon napagsisilbihan pa rin namin sila. Hindi lang basta kasi malayo na, bibigyan mo na ng yung sarili mo. Hindi naman. Tapos, mindset change. So, siyempre, yung change mindset, adapt the change, get more skills on board. Cross-functional training is available to prepare crew for multi-skilling. More skills means more flexibility and opportunity to perform available job roles. Tulad dito, sa amin, sa hawak kong outlet, FMB, yung mga waiter ko, mga waiter, waitress, kung gusto nila mag-cross-training sa ibang department, kung gusto kunyari, magaling kang sumayaw, magaling kang kumanta, pero nag-apply ka ng waiter, pero talaga ang passion mo pala, gusto mong kumanta, gusto mong sumayaw. Meron kami ditong cross-training na tinatawag. So, pwede kang mag-apply doon as a cross-training, as a cruise staff. So, kung talagang hilig mong sumayaw, hilig mong kumanta, pwede kang mag-cross-training sa cruise staff. Doon, mapapractice mo yung pagkanta mo, yung pagsayaw mo. Kung iba naman, kung mahilig ka naman sa mga ibang department, kagaya ng front office,
Hello, sir.
Housekeeping, cruise, galley. So, depende. So, lahat ng opportunity nandito. Kung talagang gusto mong matuto, kailangan i-adapt mo yung sarili mo. O, i-ready mo yung sarili mo. Next slide, please. Hello? Next slide. Narinig niyo ako? Ay.
Yes, sir. Narinig po namin kayo.
Number 5, motivation to continue in the hospitality industry. Hospitality offers a multifaceted careers. Hospitality degree gives you an opportunity to be forged a career in airlines, land-based, hotels, integrated resort, the amazing cruise line. Gives an opportunity for successful career with potential to grow into a number of rewarding high-level positions. So sa mga kagaya natin, mga hospitality courses na tinatakal nyo ngayon, maraming opportunity na naghihintay sa inyo pag graduate nyo. Either yung sinasabi nyo, pwede ka mapunta sa land-based, pwede ka mapunta sa amin sa cruise line, no? Pwede ka mapunta sa airlines. So depende yan sa inyo pag graduate nyo kung saan ba talaga yung passion nyo. Diba? So sundin nyo lang kung anong gusto nyo sa passion nyo pagdating nyo ng pag-graduate nyo. Next slide please. You see the word and cultures. Ito yung advantages natin kapag sa hospitality ka nag-graduate or nasa career mo, hospitality careers. Ito yung kinagandahan. Kagaya sa amin, nakakapunta kami sa iba't ibang bansa ng libre, di ba? Wala kang binabayaran. So, you will travel around the world. Kagaya nung si Miss Louisa. Siya nasa world cruise siya, ako nasa Asian. So, mostly Asian cruise sa amin. So, ayun ang kinagandahan kapag yung graduate ka na itong hospitality industry. Then, you can be a part of big full of demands job. Hospitality is set to create more than 80 million new jobs over to the next 10 years, which means it is not only evolving, but also incredibly secure. Additional, by 2026, 1 in 9 jobs will be the travel and tourism sector, according to G-Lion. G-Lion is the famous hospitality schools in London and Switzerland. So, sa kagaya yung course na ganito, hindi kayo mawawalan ng trabaho kung talagang pupursugihin niyo sa course nung yan. Next slide please. You learn soft and hard skill. Basic soft skills, on-the-job skills are the mainstream development training in any hospitality industry. These skills are highly valuable not only in any industry but in successful relations as well. No? So, hello? Narinig niyo ako?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, kailangan din matuto yung mga ganito, yung mga on the job. Kagaya sa amin, bago ka mag-apply, sabi nga ni Miss Louisa, kailangan 1 year to 2 years experience ka sa restaurants or the hotel. Yung nag-apply ako, before, kailangan 5 years experience ka sa restaurant, then 3 years experience ka sa hotel. But right now, hindi na masyado silang mahigpit. Hinihingan na lang sila ng 1 year experience dyan sa atin to be able to apply in the cruise. So, kailangan mo talaga, bago ka talaga makapag-apply ng barko, kailangan mo magkaroon ng experience dyan sa atin. Try na makapag-apply ka dyan ng local muna. Kaya sinasabi nga niya, hindi naman not necessary, kailangan kung cruise ship ka, kailangan sa cruise ship ka magtrabaho. Hindi naman. Basta't kung sa kagaya ng hospitality industry, marami tayong mga restaurant dyan, mga hotels, airlines. So, kumuha muna kayo ng mga 1 year experience. Then, pwede na kayo mag-apply ngayon. Hindi kagaya tulad sa amin, kailangan madami talaga, 3 years to 5 years, imagine. bago ka mag-apply ng cruise ship. Ngayon, hindi na sila ganun kahigpit. Then, you have more connections. Of course, pag graduate ka ng hospitality, no, nakakasalumuha mo na yung mga ibang tao, nagkakaroon ka ng maraming colleagues, 'di ba? So, ayun ang kinagandahan sa course na 'yan. So, tapos nakakapunta ka kung saan-saan mong gustong pumunta. So, yun lang. Next slide, please. Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Deala, for that informative talk. And I hope you guys were able to take notes about what Mr. Deala said. And now, let us proceed to the Q&A forum together with our second and third speaker. If you have questions and concerns, please do type it in the chat box and we will read it for you. Kindly tell in the comment to whom the question is for. I think we already have one from Facebook Live to Miss Louisa. Good afternoon po, ma'am. How would you manage a drunk customer po and he or she is being wild and doing violent things? Thank you po. This is from Aldrin Atocres from
Sorry,
Facebook Live.
can you repeat the question one more time, please?
Sure po. From Aldrin Atocres. Good afternoon po, ma'am. How would you manage a drunk customer po and he or she is being wild and doing violent things? Thank you po.
Ayan. So actually, on board the ship, we are being trained as well how to deal with this kind of guests, no? So on a protocol kasi sa amin on our cruise ship, we have to call a security when we are dealing with drunk guests. Especially I'm a lady. I cannot guide the passenger. Also, a crew is not allowed to go to the passenger's cabin as well. So there is a designated person that is should help with this kind of situation. So what I'm gonna do is I have to report to my manager right away na meron tayong drunk passenger. We have to block his account to prevent him from buying another drink. Yan yung natatandaan ko when I was in the bar. We have to prevent him to buy another drink, and if he refuses, that's the time we have to call the security, and security will assist the drunk passenger back to their cabin.
Thank you, Ms. Luisa. And we have a question to Mr. Deala from PUP Manila, Aramari. Required po bang marunong mag-swimming kapag nag-work sa cruise?
Hindi naman. Kaya lang syempre pag nag-apply ka ng BST mo, kasama naman yon tuturuan. Hindi naman kailangan kasi in case emergency, meron naman kayong mga life jacket doon. So, makakatulong yung kahit hindi ka marunong lumangoy. Saka ang
Thank you. Sige sir, you may proceed po.
Ang pinaka-biggest survival mo doon is yung mismong barko. Panalangin mo lumubog para hindi ka lang lumangoy.
Ayan, we have last question for both speakers. What would be your best advice for us aspiring students who dream to be part of cruise industry? And sino po yung gustong unang sumagot?
Go ahead, Miss Louisa.
Thank you, sir. So what I can advise is, ayun nga, you have to secure muna your experience muna. Kasi parang nakita ko sa chat earlier, required ba if 2 years hotel experience? Unfortunately, yes. Kasi dun pagbabasihan, kasi we're speaking here international experience na eh. The next ano mo na is international na. So there should be a proven track already. So, kailangan, hindi mo naman siya sinabing experience is sobrang galingan mo lahat. But you have to have the knowledge. You have to have the idea kung ano yung papasukin mo. If you're going to be a bar waiter, bar waitress, or a cabin steward, or sa galley, you have to have an idea on what you're gonna do there. Hindi tayo pwedeng sasabak na zero knowledge. You have to have an idea at least. So, what I can suggest is um, pag-aralan mong mabuti yung mga gagawin mo and ayun, i-enjoy mo lang. Kung para sa akin hindi ko sinisiraan yung airline industry but cruise line industry for me is the best, I believe, when it comes to hospitality. Mag-e-enjoy ka talaga.
Sa akin, kung ano yung sinabi ni Luis, dagdagan ko lang. Oo, tama yon. Hindi naman comparing to other career. No? Iba pa rin yung pag dito sa cruise ship ka nagtrabaho. Bukod sa malaking kita, sinasabi nga ni Miss Louisa, talagang mag-i-enjoy ka. Part nun is yung makakapag-travel ka ng libre sa buong mundo, di ba? So, yun yung advantage mo pag ikaw yung isang hospitality industry. Bukod sa kita na kinikita mo buwan-buwan, di ba?
And I think that's all for our question and answer portion. Thank you to our speakers and to our participants for participating. Let us now proceed to our giving of certificate and token of appreciation. We would like to give the certificate to Ma'am Louisa, Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, College of Tourism, Hospitality and Transportation Management, Department of Hospitality Management. Certificate of recognition is hereby given to Louisa G. Gonzaga for sharing her knowledge and expertise on the topic Multicultural Diversity in the webinar entitled Hospitality Zoom, Redefining the Future of Hospitality on the 10th day of July 2021 via Zoom meetings, signed by our course facilitator, Ms. Haydin I. Calabig, by our chairperson, Dr. Maria Cristina Q. Trinidad, and by our dean, Assistant Professor Lisbeth R. Vergara.
We would also like to give this certificate to Mr. Deala as our token of appreciation, Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, College of Tourism, Hospitality and Transportation Management, Department of Hospitality Management. Certificate of recognition is hereby given to Arnold Deala for sharing his knowledge and expertise on the topic Multicultural Diversity in the webinar entitled Hospitality Zoom, Redefining the Future of Hospitality on the 10th day of July 2021 via Zoom meetings, signed by our course facilitator, Ms. Haydin I. Calabig, by our chairperson, Dr. Maria Cristina Q. Trinidad, and by our dean, Assistant Prof. Lisbeth R. Vergara. May we request everyone to please open your cameras as we will be having our photo opportunity with our second and third speakers. Again, just a reminder for everyone, please have a screenshot of you together with our speakers as we are going to require this in our evaluation form. This will serve as our attendance for today's event.
Hello po, we have 12 windows po ngayon. Okay, first window, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, next window po. Wait lang. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, third window. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, fourth. 1, 2, 3. Ano po? Fifth window. 1, 2, 3, smile. Sixth window. 1, 2, 3. Seventh. Okay, next. Ninth window. 10th. 11th window, and last window. Okay na po, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Avanica, and thank you for Ms. Louisa and Mr. Arnold.
Ayan, before we proceed to our last speaker, we will be having our second icebreaker. Are you guys excited? So here's the mechanics for the game. The game will be Guess the Picture. Cropped images will be flashed on the screen and you will guess who this famous vlogger is. First person who comments the correct answer will win a reward. And again, only people present in Zoom teleconference and participants registered are the only ones eligible in participating in this game. Lastly, wrong spelling is wrong. Yan. So, ang bilis, wait. I explain ko. I think we have a winner. Asan na yun? From PUP Manila, Miss Palma Araw Marie. Ayan. Sobrang bilis naman, Miss Palma. So, Drew Arellano is a Filipino actor and host of the show Balikbayan and Biyahe ni Drew on QTV. Yan.
Moving on to our next vlogger. Famous line, it's not years in your life, but the life in your years that count.
I
Ang
think
bibilis nyo mag-type.
we have a winner. Nakita ko na kasi yung unang nakapag-type ng tamang sagot. From yun. From Pinma Yupang,
Yes.
Miss Mr. Maverick Luis Lorenzana.
He answered Will Dasovich. He is a Filipino-American television personality, model, and a vlogger. He is known for his vlogs on YouTube, and he has appeared on various television shows, but mostly on Pinoy Big Brother. And congratulations to the two winners. Please wait for the organizer to message you so you can claim your prize. And finally, we're almost reaching the end of our event. But before that, let me introduce our fourth speaker. And I would also like to apologize as the expected fourth speaker cannot be with us today due to the uncertain circumstances. However, we will proceed by introducing our fourth new speaker. For our last speaker, she will tackle the subject of tourism and hospitality marketing. She will be sharing with us today the engagement of content creator through communicating by storytelling to understand the real stories of destination and the actual experiences in traveling. Our last speaker is a professional tour guide. She studied Bachelor of Science in Hotel and Tourism at St. Louis University in Baguio City and graduated with her master's degree in Business Administration at the University of Cordilleras. She became a program host, virtual guide, and VP Guides PH, an instructor at the University of the Cordilleras, and substitute program head, tour operation officer at Aviation Traveling Tours, and freelance regional guide of Cordillera, administrative, and program host of Morning Balitaktakan, RNG Luzon. Let us all welcome Ms. Shekinah Cudao. Let us give her a virtual round of applause.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Hello, good afternoon po, Ms. Shekinah.
Can you hear an echo on my side?
Medyo lang po, but it's okay naman po.
All right. My laptop kasi is not allowed to mute myself, so I'm using my cell phone. Can somebody help me with that? Yeah. And I also, yeah.
Medyo nag-echo lang po siya, ma'am.
All right. Is this better?
Meron pa din po.
Meron kaunting echo. Hold on. Let me just troubleshoot. Well, how's everyone? Well, I'm doing some technical difficulties here on my end. How's everyone? How's the pandemic treating you? Sabi nga nila, the pandemic could have either left you broken, gained weight. Ayan. Is my audio better?
A bit po. And we're okay naman po. Ako po and my family, we're all okay.
Alright. Better nga, betterer. Kasi pag sinabi kong, am I edible, iba pala yun, no? Hindi pala naman. Yan. So, thank you for your feedback. So, good afternoon, everyone. This is going to be a deviation of what we have been discussing this afternoon, as I know that we have been focusing on the future opportunities that you would be gaining in the travel and tourism industry. The thing is that right now, we might have just forgotten to take a pause, and sabi nga nila, we have been fighting. Sabi nila, we have been using the word padayon in so much time already. But let me remind everyone, puhayaw naman, which means to have it in a pause. Now, to the everyone who have been here, maraming salamat for taking your time and opportunity. You know, the invitation have been overwhelming to me to be lined up with this special speakers, and thank you so much. So before I continue, next slide please. Yeah. So in my presentation today, I would just like to make you aware that there are 3 C's highlight of this webinar, and that are the challenges, the changes, and the chances that we would be encountering because of the pandemic. I cannot stop but tell you how much challenging it has been in our industry, right? From the big pause by being blindsided, even the strongest nation do not know how to deal with this pandemic. Tama ba? I just woke up isang araw na sinuspending classes dito sa university. Tapos, a day after that, Baguio City was in a total lockdown. So sabi ko, ang bilis. Parang yung feelings niya. Tama ba? Yan, I see some reactions, and feel free to navigate your reactions bottom. I just wanted to make sure na, ay, buhay pa pala yung mga kausap ko. Tama ba? Ang namatay lang naman yung feelings niya eh. Diba? I can see all your reactions. And tama, mamaya na yung mga nag-ML dyan. May nakita akong nag-ML. Mamaya na. First blood ba yan? Well, anyway, it has been challenging for everyone. In the middle, tayo yung nasa middle ng dartboard. The tourism and travel industry is at the very middle because our industry is a service-oriented and a people-oriented industry. Right? So, hindi natin siya kayang takbuhan. It's that the challenges starts from our university, in any sector in the government, local government unit, non-government unit, lahat tayo nagkaroon ng challenges. I myself being an instructor, umay na ako. Ayoko nang mag-online learning, I am telling you. It has been. Sabi ko nga, kasi we have started with medical courses already. Ma'am, umay ka, 'di ba? Ma'am, ang pangit mong kabanding, right? Because it's all online, right? Those are the challenges. Now we go to the changes, right? The changes is that the single change that we encounter in our daily lives is the tiniest. Paghaba ng kuko, paghaba ng buhok. Feeling ko yung gentleman natin dyan, na meron na silang mga, mas mahahaba na yung buhok nila sa ating mga babae because it changed. The thing is that we adapt to a constant change in the travel and tourism industry. My point is that the changes will help us grow, lalo na sa industriya natin. Even the pandemic will be over in years' time. I'm telling you, it's years' time because if you're familiar with the Spanish flu, it went through 3 years before it got resolved. And this pandemic is no different from it. Alam ko, hindi pa tayo buhay lahat ng Spanish flu. 1982 yun eh. Millennial pa si ma'am, di ba? So, the thing is that we have to make sure that these changes are something that we convert into chances, right? And these chances are so much bigger than the pandemic that we have right now. And at the bottom of these 3 C's that I have been telling you is that I've seen that the industry right now is going back forth to our community. Right? Sige nga, we have heard that there is bayanihan amongst us Filipino. We've seen our value reiteration. We have seen how much we have uh, taken a look back in what is basic to our living, to our industry and whatnot. Next slide, please. Yan. So, next pa po. And so the core of blogging and virtual tourism, these are the chances that I'm now giving you. Writing is the core of blogging and virtual tourism or virtual guiding. The thing is that writing is a form of an expression, right? So aside from what you have enumerated at the first part of your icebreaker, Drew Aureliano, right? And Will Dasovich, yung iba kasi hindi din hindi din tinype yung last name. I understand why. Ang hirap kayang i-spell. More so, ang hirap i-pronounce, correct? But they say the Filipino accent is the sexiest. So, i-push na natin yung pagsasabi ng Dasovich na yan, di ba? Well, the core is that writing is a form of communication. And there are tools, there are symbols, there is more than writing that we can take advantage of. Next slide, please. Yeah, and so we wanted to discuss why do you blog or why do we blog? So to the benefit of everyone in this room and those that are watching Facebook Live, I myself doesn't have my own blog or vlog yet. The reason is because I am not very open yet in the criticisms of others. Well, ma'am tour guide ka naman, ma'am teacher ka naman, so you might have program host ka naman. Maybe you have heard a lot of this already. Yes, I have. And yes, I do. The thing is that hindi pa ganun yung puso ko on that. But the thing is that the reason why I'm encouraging everyone to do so is because if you blog a specific destination, we empower the place to be known, to be far reached by everyone in our industry. So why do we blog is in the context of its content, right? So regardless kung gaano kahaba yan, regardless if somebody might read that blog or whatnot, or if somebody might watch the vlog or whatnot, the purpose is that your content is there. What impact are you trying to leave your audience? Right? Are you blogging because trip ko lang? Are you blogging because it's for educational purposes? Are you blogging because you want to be creative? You want to show your juices and creativity? That could be one reason, right? But the thing is that if you blog, there should be a reason and a content of what you're doing. So it should also be interesting. It should also be timely on what is happening. Well, for bloggers that has contents that are more on historical, they may do so, correct? Because your content depends on what you are writing and who you are writing for. On your content, also, you're able to identify your audience, your market segmentation, and the like, right? Right? So that's why one of the reasons why you blog. The second is the proximity. The proximity that I'm pertaining to is that the perimeter, the accessibility, the area of where you are blogging. Well, unfortunately, right now, some of the bloggers that I have been following said that blogging is their life. It's their life support. They travel, they write about it, they publish it, or the other way around, they vlog it, they create a content, they create a video, and that's it. They publish it. The thing is that wala ngayon hindi pwede. Right? And if I may just also say what Sir Arnold said, kulang na lang nga yakapin natin yung mga turista natin before. But we cannot, right? Ako bilang tour guide, we have, we have shake hands. Ngayon, pwede na tayo sa fist bump, right? The thing is that with our industry, ang hirap gumalaw. So you being a blogger is constrained with a lot of this. However, that's the chances that we are trying to let you know. What about blogging things that are just near to your heart? How about writing something that helps other to fight mental health? How about blogging something that could be instructional? How you can cook this, how you can cook that. Sabi nga nila, if you blog, you primarily put everything into writing. Your emotions exudes into writing. Ako, personally, I'm not good at writing. Kasi feeling ko, pag naging blogger ako or vlogger ako, puro lang kalokohan. Kaya, wag muna. Right? But the thing is that you find the heart of what you're doing. And I know that all of you has a heart of what you're going to do in the future. The next is your oddity. One of the reasons why you blog is it something that is catchy? What sets you apart from the other bloggers? Right? So ako nga, kung puro kalokohan, siguro yun na nga, that makes my blog or my content odd to others. Or for others, like for Will, he has a different oddity in his blogs or vlogs, right? With Biyahe ni Drew, more on traveling, more on tourism promotion, destination, and everything that is in between. I've actually have met Drew in one of his segments here in Kalinga, but it was just a brief encounter. And I wasn't introduced, but I saw him. That was a travel way back when we went to Kalinga. So one of the things that I do before is I am a tour guide. So yun yung ginagawa natin. So sabi ni Ma'am Alyssa and ni Ma'am Louisa and ni Sir Arnold, our industry is limitless of opportunities. And I am telling you why stop here. Why stop now? Because you have so many chances to do it. Right? So a tip, if you wanted to start your blog or vlog, start it now. Pero mabati mo pag ginawa. Kasi busy ako. Joke lang po. Kasi module is life. Diba? Module is life and kilay is lifer. Diba? Just kidding. Kidding aside, the thing is that that's the oddity of what you're going to write, what sets you apart with your audience and the market that you're tapping. The next is that the prominence of your blog, the popularity of what you are creating. If you see, Google is a great example of prominence. Would you believe that Google is actually based on popularity? So the more that it's searchable, Google will say that this is the correct answer. It's based on probability. So since 99% is probably going to look into this answer, Google would put it in the search engine sa pinakataas. Sabi niya yun yung tamang sagot. But the thing is that could not be the right answer. Tama ba? Pati sa Facebook, pansinin nyo, yung mga nasa laging newsfeed nyo, puro pagkain. Parang ako. Kasi yun yung market ko. Yun yung prominence or popularity of the content that I'm actually looking into. Ma'am, paano yung mga tipid tips? Yan yung nasa search engine mo because that's what you have been searching. Ma'am, paano kung mga videos on how to kill your enemy? ML attacks. Diba? COC. Sabi ko ni. Everybody's, laughing at it. But that's the fact of what is happening, right? By that already, your content, your blog strives and go further. Correct? So, puro kayo tawa dyan, dapat mamaya pag nagpa-game ako, nagpa-game talaga. Pero silang magbibigay ng prize, ha? Malayo kayo eh. Just kidding. And well, anyways, again, that's your why do we blog? Aside from that, the thing is that a friendly reminder is you always have to look into the quality of what you are providing. All right? Sabi nila, when you're starting with blogging, dapat madami. But it doesn't work that way. It works over quality in a consistent quantity. All right? Parang hindi importante kung marami kang girlfriend. Ang importante, sino mahal mo? No, I was just kidding. But the thing is that it's always going to be quality inconsistent of your quantity. Palagi yan. It should empower that the quality of what you're producing, what you're creating is over the quantity of your output. Diba? And sinabi mo nga na ang dami mo ng vlogs. But the thing is that it doesn't have a content. Hindi siya timely. It's not within your reach. It's not something that is unusual. It's not even something that people will talk about. So if I start blogging about mental health awareness, people will strive to read that because it's very timely. Personally, we've been battling that. Diba? Mga estudyante ngayon, ang reply sa akin, Ma'am, dagat na ako. Ma'am, beach na ako. Ay nako, same here. So that's how you find your content into blogging. And that helps our industry far better. Also, through blogging, it corrects the notion of your destination. Here in the Cordillera per se, they say that the Igorots are very barbaric. They say that Igorots have tails. Igorots have a distinct way of culture. They have a form of tradition that is not covered in the tradition of the Filipino culture, which is right, which is definitely correct. Tama yun. We are really, aside from the Philippines, kasi with the fall of the Spanish regime, the Cordillera region took some time before the Spaniards subjugate our place, kaya iba talaga yung kultura namin. Through blogging, this content creator corrects the notion of people about Cordillera region because they're promoting it through writing, correcting what is perhaps incorrect of what they're feeling. May nag-comment, I'm a proud Igorot here. I am a proud Cordilleran. I cannot say that I'm an Igorot, but I am a proud Cordilleran by heart and by soul and by face. Char. Diba? The thing is that through blogging a destination, we make sure that this prejudice have been gone through far more than centuries already. Ang mga Igorot para sweet lover. Ang mga Igorot pala is very artistic. That's why Baguio City is the UNESCO Heritage Site of the Philippines. Diba? Kinorek natin yan. We break down the barriers because people are writing accurate information about the destination. Ang saya, diba? Diba? So, that's an advantage of blogging. Right now, it could be a little localized. Kasi syempre, ang mga bloggers natin ngayon, they will talk about their community and their locality muna. Right? So parang it's going to be something that is personal on their place. May magtatanong ngayon dyan. Uunahan ko na yung sagot. Ma'am, open po bang Baguio City for travelers? Yes na yes, pak na pak. Yan. And kung na-vaccine na kayo ng 2 doses, that you can present that as a vaccination card. Inunahan ko na yung tanong, diba? Ganun tayo mabilis. All right. So next slide, please. All right. So another chance that this pandemic has given us in the tourism industry is virtual tourism or on the way na po, ma'am. Ingat ka! Umuulan dito kaya magdala kayo ng payo. And magdala ng jacket kasi malamig, pero mas malamig siya. Charot. Yan. So going back, virtual tourism have been another avenue for us. An avenue in the tourism industry for us to showcase our destination in a place, in a platform where everybody could be your market. I'm telling you, because of virtual tourism, I was able to meet tour guides from all over the world, from Ukraine, USA, from Europe, from Palestine, from Israel, and dami-dami. We've just connected because of virtual guiding. So the advantage of virtual guiding is that it's experiential. Still, experiential pa rin siya because we use tools available in the internet that makes the virtual experience almost close to reality. Yan. And we also maximize our personal encounters with our tourists before that made it as our advantage. Mind you, those who really give a virtual tourism or virtual guiding are DOT accredited and professional tour guides in our place and other places that I have a group with. And that's the V Guides PH. We have tour guides from Manila, from Pangasinan, from Cebu, Iloilo, and mostly here in the Cordillera because we have pioneered virtual tour guiding here in the Philippines. We were the first who created it in the Philippines. So I'm proud to say that it came a long way. And next is that because of virtual tour guiding, it's convenient for everyone. Again, your market is far reachable even to the smallest island in the Philippines. Even those age bracket that we thought is not capable of traveling anymore. So convenient as well as we are presenting it in a way that everybody could take advantage. Basta merong internet connection. Sabi nga namin during virtual tour guiding, the internet is your best friend and could be your worst enemy, right? Another advantage of virtual tour guiding is being top of the mind, meaning that in one of the pictures later, I will be showing you how we were able to top market sectors in the tourism industry that welcomed virtual guiding to their homes or houses or establishments because they believe that virtual tour guiding could help them promote their destination and accommodation sector. So it's really form of a promotion in general. Lastly is that because of virtual tourism and virtual tour guiding, there's sustainability. And there's a longevity of the industry because we're able to take care of the environment because of virtual tourism. Kasi nga, guests cannot physically be there and maybe not be a responsible tourist in this matter. So let me proceed to the next slide, please. And so these are some of the pictures that we have during our virtual tour. And then Staycation in the Pines is for Tudor in the Pines. You can check their Facebook page. And again, it's more on a promotion in this specific place where there is a twin glass tree house lang naman. Diba? So that entices our customers to go there. Next slide, please. The next one is this one. This is the first time that we had our Baguio virtual tour is at the left side. Beyond Progress, this is in commemoration of Baguio City's 111 Charter Day. And any amount that we collected on that specific tour was used to purchase rice and was given to our displaced tourist guide in the city of Baguio. There were at least 25 of us. We were able to give 25 kilos of rice for each of them. So next is that Baguio City, it's the haven for the weary souls. That was one of the segments that we had when we discussed about the curse of Baguio City. Alam nyo ba yung curse ng Baguio City? Sige nga. Hindi nila alam. Curse ng Baguio City is pag magjowa daw kayong umakyat dito, magbe-break daw kayo. Well, next slide, please. All right, next slide. Yeah, and so also we have the Philippines Highlands to Islands, which means that was one of the virtual tour that we have that was a collaboration of other tour guides all over the Philippines. Aside from that is we also cater to virtual guiding in a specific locality, which I have been telling earlier. This is the Mayon Year Ender at the right of your screen, where some of our guides, me and the rest of the guides, was able to give a glimpse of Taal. Yan. Next slide, please. We're almost done. I think that's yan. Next po. Ay, wala na. Hindi ata na habol. Anyways, yun. Yun lang. So before I go off with the question and answer portion, I would just like to remind you that there is 29,000 days in our lives, of which there are 97,000 of sleep, 3,832 of work, 3,000, 1,000 chores, pati yung pag-restroom natin is 460 days in equivalent. So now there's also 365 traffic. So out of this, there is 23,502 days. We subtract it from the 29,000 days that we have, which is normally the far-reach age of 80 years old. What's left with us is 5,498 days living in this world. So the thing is that how would you want that to be, how would you want that to have meaning to others? Habang natutulog ka, you leave an impact to people. You leave how your purpose meant in our industry. So regardless if you will be in our industry or whatnot, if you choose to work in the airline industry, if you wish to be in the cruise ship industry, I'm asking you now, the 5,498 days, where are you going to allot that in your purpose? So thank you so much for allowing me to speak. And I hope you did learn something from me aside from kalokohan. So yes po.
Thank you, Ms. Shekinah, for that wonderful talk. And I hope our participants was able to encourage to start their own blogs, especially those who want to share their unique stories and adventures in life. And now let us proceed to the Q&A portion.
And again, if you have questions for Miss Shekinah, feel free to type it in the chat box and we'll read it for you.
Kasi sinagot ko na yung tanong nila.
Yeah,
sabi nila, yung nga pag-travel dito sa Baguio, pwede, ano daw, meron daw nabuhayan ang ako doon sa sumpa ng Baguio. Is there any payo for us to enhance our speaking and communicating skills? Miss Natasha, thank you so much for that wonderful question. And I would just like to let you know that I would second the motion of what Miss Alyssa said earlier, that I also started in the business process outsource industry or BPO industry. I was at the back of the house. Lagi akong kausap sa phone ng mga Amerikano. And the thing is that it basically gave me a way to discuss things with them. So as for communication, the tips that I can give you is to ask for feedback, criticism with the people that knows you. Doon tayo sa mga taong sasabihin nila what needs to be improved. Kasi alam mo, we will have friends in our lifetime that would be always at the middle. Meron din tayong friends where we have sponge friends. Doon tayo sa sponge friends natin because they will tell you the truth without filter. And those are the friends that you need to keep. Yan, kunwari, a good friend of mine told me when we were at the segment of our program, nasabi niya, masyado kang stiff in front of the camera. Okay. My mom also tells me when I'm already live in Facebook, magchat-chat yan. Kasla ka nga na nakipinangpangat, sabi niya. Do you understand that? Para daw ako nakapagsabunutan. Kasi ang gulo-gulo daw ng buko. So those small things will help you improve yourself, either physically, and what they wanted you is for you to improve. As for communicating, believe it or not, hindi din ako ganito kadaldal. Pero lagi akong nasa noisy. but the thing is that you start a conversation. Ganon ako. I'm a conversation starter. Lalo na pag I'm in a new room and a new people, meron kang makakakuhanan ng ugali. And I always have the initiative to ask, tagasan ka? Yan, sa puso mo. Joke. Tagasan? How was the weather in your place? So that, I think those are also because of digitization, you can record yourself so that you know how to improve maybe sa pagsasalita. Another is reading. Ito, may sasabihin ako sa inyo. Gusto ko nang matapos yung modular kasi hindi ko na mabasa yung pocketbook na gusto kong basahin. I read a lot. Hindi ko alam kung bakit. Yan. Another question was, di ba ako na yung naging moderator? Sorry po. Ako na yung naghanap ng sarili kong tanong.
Ma'am, we have a question
po, MCs.
We have a question po from our Facebook Live. A question from Ralph Kevin. On the changes that you have mentioned, ma'am, what advice can you give to students taking up tourism and hospitality management course, especially that this industry is one of the most affected?
Yes, that is right. I second the motion to the person who've asked the question. What are the advice, correct? What's the advice that I could give to our tourism professionals, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
The thing is that my only advice is to push through to this industry. You do not know how far this industry, how big this industry. Alam ko, your faith, your hope has been faltered right now because of the pandemic. But the thing is that you are already here. Do not lose your passion, yung puso mo sa industriyang ito because of the pandemic. And I am telling you, and I'm going to tell you, that this pandemic may be repeated, or it was set to happen. This was set to happen because this is something that we have been blindsided. But sabi ko nga, this was the second, we have the Ahini virus, we have the other viruses, so we know already that this could happen. So kapit lang tayo. Always remember that the end of the tunnel, there's always a light at the end of it. There's a question about tour guiding. I apologize, but for the question about nagtutour guide po ba kayo sa Mindanao, what's your I haven't been to Mindanao. I would love to, though. I would love to definitely to go to Mindanao. But the thing is that I would just like to make you aware that if a tour guide is an accredited guide within their specification or vicinity, dun lang sila allowed mag-guide. So ako, I am only allowed to guide within the Cordillera Administrative Region or within the 6 provinces of Cordillera, which is Abra, Apayao, Mountain Province, Kalinga, Ifugao, and Benguet. Yun. And outside that, we hire a tour guide kasi I play a role of a tour coordinator before. So kung pupunta ako sa Ilocos, mag-hire ako ng tour guide from Ilocos to take over. What should be the best quality of person that will engage in this industry? A person who is an open-minded, a person who wanted to embrace that there are changes. So to be quite honest, your personality will shine through. Mahahanap mo yan sa sarili mo. Maybe ngayon hindi mo pa siya nahahanap. Hindi mo pa nahahanap yung personality na yon. But the thing is that you have that. We have our unique differences that make this industry so beautiful. Kung alam nyo lang, napakaganda ng industriya na to. So, yun. I think may mga tanong pa po ba?
Hello, ma'am. I'm sorry for the interruption. But as much as you want to entertain more questions, but we need to cut the question and answer portion for room because we are very short of time na po. And
definitely.
For Miss Crisalben Oracion, please send a message for Ma'am Shekinah for your invitation.
And to show our gratitude and appreciation, we would like to give this certificate to Ms. Shekinah as our token of appreciation. Republic of the Philippines, Polytechnic University of the Philippines, College of Tourism, Hospitality and Transportation Management, Department of Hospitality Management. Certificate of recognition is hereby given to Shekinah Cudao for sharing her knowledge and expertise on the topic Tourism and Hospitality Marketing in the webinar entitled Hospitality Zoom, Redefining the Future of Hospitality on the 10th day of July 2021 via Zoom meetings, signed by our course facilitator, Ms. Hayden Aikalabi, by our chairperson, Dr. Maria Cristina Cutinidad, and by our dean, Assistant Prof. Lisbeth R. Vergara. Thank you, Ms. Shekinah. May we request everyone to please open your cameras as we will be having our photo op with our fourth speaker. Thank you. And just a reminder for everyone, please have a screenshot of you together with our speakers as we are going to record this in our evaluation form. This will serve as your attendance for today's event.
Wait lang po. Okay, first window po. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, next window po. Wait lang. 1, 2, 3, smile. Third window. 1, 2, 3, smile. Fourth window. 1, 2, 3, smile. Wait lang po. Okay, next. Sixth window. Seventh. 8. 1, 2, 3. Ninth window. 10th window and last window. Okay na po. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Savanica.
Ayan, once again, thank you, Miss Shekinah. Now, please support and follow Miss Shekinah's broadcasting company by following social media accounts. Just type RNG Luzon for IG and Twitter. For Facebook page, you can type Regional News Group -RNG Luzon, and for podcast, RNG Space Luzon. Or you can check the links provided in the chat box. As we proceed to the end of our event, may we call on our course facilitator, Ms. Hayden Aikalabig, to give her closing remarks. Let us give her a virtual round of applause.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? Am I loud and clear?
Yes, ma'am, loud and clear.
All right. So, good afternoon once again, and of course to our distinguished speakers for today, Miss Alyssa Perio, Miss Louisa Gonzaga, Mr. Arnold Deala, and the last speaker, which is Miss Shekinah Cudao. Thank you very much po for gracing our event today. We learned so much from you and we had fun. Maski ako, no, maski hindi na ako estudyante. Natuwa pa rin ako sa mga hugot ni ma'am, and of course yung mga learnings from our other speakers earlier today. So we have come to the end of our 3-day webinar about Hospitality Zoom, redefining the future of the hospitality. To all our speakers, thank you for sharing your valuable time, knowledge, and expertise to our future hospitality warriors. To all the students, of course, from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Hindi ko na po isa-isahin yung mga schools na yon, pero for the past 2 days, lagi ko pong sinasabi and sineshout out yung mga schools na always present sa aming webinar. I hope you learned a lot from our 3-day webinar. Always remember that hospitality is about customer service, and customer service is not a department, it's an attitude. So whenever you see the opportunity to create a wow moment, act on it. I'd like to take this opportunity also to thank our chairperson, Dr. Maria Cristina Q. Trinidad, our Dean, Assistant Professor Lisbeth Vergara for supporting our 3-day event. And of course, I'd like to thank also my events class for making this possible. Alam kong madami tayong pinagdaanan sa 3-day webinar na ito, pero at long last, no, ito na yung last day natin, and so masasabi ko namang successful siya. No? So ganun talaga, no? Sabi nga ng mga speakers natin for the past 3 days, wala naman trabahong madali, no? Lahat ay may mga challenges na nai-encounter. So with that, on behalf again of BSHM 33D Prime Events, maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Ma'am Hayden. And before we end our event, let us hear first the PUP hymn to be led by PUP Bagong Himig Serenata.
Now that we have come to the closing of our event, on behalf of my whole class, BSHM P3D PUP Manila, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to all the people who became part of this project, to all of our professors and faculty members, to all the participants from PUP and other universities, and those who had their interest for this event. Thank you for joining us from the first day, and we hope that you enjoyed the series of our event and learned something from it. I would also like to thank our amazing speakers who lent us their time despite their busy schedule, for sharing your knowledge and experiences with us, and we are really honored to have you here. And lastly, to our dear advisor, Ms. Hayden Calabig, thank you for your guidance, and I'm very happy that I had the opportunity to host this virtual event. Stay safe, everyone, and I hope to see you all soon when everything is back to normal.
It's an honor to host this virtual event. We've achieved so much in the time we've been here, and we've gained a lot of knowledge too. It was fun organizing this virtual event, and I would like to thank my dear section 33D. Thank you for the trust and for always choosing me as a host for this event. On behalf of this HM33D, I would also like to thank everyone who attended today. Thank you for participating. I hope you're all okay, and I wish you all good health and stay safe always. Thank you. Kindly scan the QR code that you can see on the screen for our evaluation form. Only those students who answer the evaluation form will be given a certificate, and to those who cannot access the QR code, we will send the evaluation link in the chat box. The evaluation form will be closed after 3 hours. Thank you.
We would also like to thank our sponsors, Miss Maria Joyce Ann Cahilog, Miss Vida Lorena Suarez, Miss Marieta Aguito, and to Mr. John R.B. Rancap. Thank you so much.
And for more concerns regarding the webinar, please message us at our email or Facebook page. And for more updates for our next events, please check our Facebook page. We will be having our grand event that will be held on July 19 and 20 entitled Be Green-Minded, Strengthening the Hospitality Through Sustainability. See you all soon.
We hope that you enjoyed this event. Once again, this has been your MC. I am Angelo.
And I am Janine, and we hope to see you all again in our grand event. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone. And if you're interested in our next webinar, you can also join our grand event. Thank you.
The link for the evaluation form has been posted in the chat box.
Thank you, everyone. Stay safe.
Thank you
Hope to see you
guys.
all
Thank you.
soon.
And to our speakers, thank you ma'am, thank you sir.
Again, if you're still looking for an event, we will be having our grand event that will be held in July 19 to 15, entitled Please Remind Us, Strengthening the Hospital
And just a reminder for everyone, if you're going to encounter a problem when you're uploading the proofs for attendance for today, please message kagad our Facebook page because we will be only accommodating today only.
Thank you, guys. You may leave the Zoom room.
Thank you guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everyone.